What if a small change in your diet could stop the pain you've been feeling for years? Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, your leg cramped so badly that you can barely move, the pain searing through you like a bolt of lightning. It's the kind of pain that makes you question your own strength. You roll out of bed, limping to the kitchen in the dark, hoping some magic cure might exist. But nothing works. You've tried stretching, you've tried staying hydrated, you've tried every trick in the book. And yet, here you are, still struggling with cramps, day after day. But what if I told you that the solution might be as simple as a change in your diet, 3 specific foods, to be exact, that could stop the cramping and help you stay strong? Sounds too good to be true, right? But this is the story of how one of the most unconventional billionaires in the world, Elon Musk, found an answer to this very problem. And it wasn't through any groundbreaking technology or space-age invention. It was through the power of food. Before we dive in, I want you to think for a moment, what's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? What is that little spark of hope that keeps you going when it feels like the world is crumbling around you? For Elon Musk, that spark has always been his relentless drive to find solutions to real-world problems, no matter how big or small. But this time, the problem wasn't about conquering Mars or revolutionizing electric cars. This time, the problem was much more personal. It was about leg cramps, the kind that kept him up at night and interfered with his ability to focus on the big ideas that made him famous. For someone who pushes the limits of human potential, these cramps were a frustration he couldn't ignore. And in true Musk fashion, he was determined to find a solution. So, let me ask you again, what if a simple change could eliminate that pain you've been living with for years? It might seem too simple, too easy. But trust me, sometimes the most effective solutions are the ones we overlook. Before we go any further, hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning for you. What's one thing that always keeps you going when the going gets tough? The night Elon Musk first experienced those debilitating leg cramps, he was working late at the Tesla headquarters. His mind was racing through the many projects he had going on, from launching rockets to rethinking the future of sustainable energy. He had always been the kind of person who thrived on the intensity of his work, pushing boundaries and breaking records. But this pain in his legs was something he couldn't ignore. It was sharp, sudden, and left him breathless. He had tried everything, stretching, drinking water, massaging his calves. But nothing worked. As the pain slowly subsided, Elon found himself sitting on the edge of his office chair, staring out of the window at the city lights below. The world seemed so small from up here, and yet his problems felt so big. How could he conquer the world if something as simple as leg cramps kept him from doing his best work? It was in that quiet moment of frustration that Elon made a decision. He would find a solution, just like he always had before. And this time, it would be through food. Elon was no stranger to unconventional methods. He was the man who revolutionized the electric car industry and turned space travel into a private venture. He'd done the impossible before, so why couldn't he do it again? But this time, he wasn't going to rely on engineers or scientists to solve his problem. Instead, he was going to look for answers in the most basic part of human life, nutrition. Food. The answer was in food. It wasn't just any foods, though. Musk knew that the body was a complex system, and if he wanted to fix a specific problem like leg cramps, he had to go deeper. He needed to understand the nutrients, the minerals, and the balance that could potentially make all the difference. It wasn't enough to just eat anything, he needed to find the right foods that would help him feel strong and energized. The next morning, Elon began researching. He poured through books, medical journals, and online forums, looking for anything that could offer a clue. And as he dug deeper, he found something interesting. It seemed that many people who suffered from leg cramps had low levels of potassium, magnesium, or calcium. These were the key minerals that helped muscles function properly and avoid cramping. As Elon dug into the science of it all, he began to see patterns emerging. Potassium was crucial for muscle contractions and fluid balance. Magnesium helped muscles relax, which could prevent the kind of tightness that led to cramps. Calcium was important for overall muscle function. And the more he learned, the more certain he became that a diet rich in these minerals might be the solution he was looking for. By now, you might be wondering, what does Elon Musk have to do with me and my leg cramps? Well, stay with me, because the solution that Musk discovered might just surprise you. He began to incorporate foods rich in these minerals into his diet. Bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes were among the top contenders. They were all naturally high in potassium and magnesium, and they fit seamlessly into Musk's existing lifestyle. But the real test would come when he actually started eating these foods regularly. Over the next few weeks, Elon made a point to consume these three foods at least once a day. He found creative ways to add them to his meals: bananas in smoothies, spinach in salads, and sweet potatoes as a side dish to his dinners. And something remarkable started to happen. The cramps started to decrease. Slowly but surely, the pain that had once kept him up at night faded into the background. It wasn't an instant fix, but over time, Musk noticed a significant difference. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds simple, almost too simple. But sometimes, the best solutions are the ones that are right in front of us, waiting to be discovered. For Musk, this was the breakthrough he had been searching for. And it wasn't just about stopping leg cramps. It was about taking control of his own body, his health, and his future. So, what can we take from Musk's story? It's a reminder that sometimes the answers to our problems are much simpler than we think. And just as Musk found strength in the foods that helped him overcome a personal struggle, perhaps we, too, can find power in the simplest of changes. But here's the real question: could the same foods that helped Musk stop his leg cramps work for you? Only one way to find out. Keep reading, and let's see how this journey unfolds. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? Elon Musk is a name that sparks curiosity, admiration, and, at times, controversy. To many, he is a modern-day genius, the kind of innovator who doesn't just dream of a better future but actively builds it. From PayPal to Tesla, from SpaceX to Neuralink, Musk has redefined what is possible. His drive is unmatched, his ambition boundless, and his mind, seemingly, a machine that never stops churning with ideas. But behind the headlines, behind the social media posts and Tesla stock prices, there's a man whose story is not unlike that of many others who find themselves pushing against the grain, fighting against odds to turn dreams into reality. Born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon Musk was a curious child, driven by an intense desire to understand how things worked. His fascination with technology and science began at a young age, spending countless hours reading books and tinkering with electronics. In fact, it wasn't long before he built his own computer at the age of 12. It was clear then that Musk was not your average kid. His mind worked differently, and his relentless curiosity would eventually become his trademark. However, childhood was not all smooth sailing for Elon. He was bullied at school, and the experience left a mark on him. His parents, too, were divorced when he was just 9, further complicating his already challenging upbringing. Yet, despite these hurdles, Musk's obsession with learning never wavered. He saw education as his ticket to escape his difficult circumstances and find a way to create a different future for himself. At 17, Musk moved to Canada to attend Queen's University, and then on to the University of Pennsylvania in the US, where he earned degrees in both economics and physics. It wasn't long after that Musk's journey into entrepreneurship began. His first significant business venture was Zip2, a company that provided online business directories and maps to newspapers. He sold it for nearly $300 million, a tidy sum that marked the beginning of his billionaire journey. But it wasn't the money that motivated him, it was the opportunity to make a difference. From the very beginning, Musk was driven by a mission much larger than himself: he wanted to make the world a better place. With his newfound wealth, he set his sights on projects that would forever change industries and technology. He co-founded X.com, which later became PayPal, and upon its sale to eBay, Musk walked away with another $165 million. But instead of resting on his laurels, Musk used this money to fund what would become his most ambitious projects to date: Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity. These companies were all aligned with Musk's larger vision of sustainability, space exploration, and the advancement of human life. Yet, with all his success, Musk was not invincible. Despite his achievements, he still faced personal struggles, moments of self-doubt, and the very human challenges that many of us experience. While the world admired him for his genius, it was in these quieter moments, when the weight of his responsibilities grew too heavy, that Musk began to realize how crucial it was to take care of his physical and mental health. He could have easily ignored the issue of leg cramps, chalking them up to age or stress. But Musk is not one to back down from a challenge. If there was a problem, there had to be a solution. And that's where we are now, on the brink of understanding how Musk's journey took a turn towards something that, at first glance, may seem like a minor issue: leg cramps. But as you'll see, the solution he discovered would not only impact his own health but potentially the health of millions of people around the world. It's easy to look at someone like Elon Musk and think that the road to success was an effortless one. The truth, however, is far from that. Musk has faced numerous failures, some public, some personal, that have shaped him into the person he is today. His story is one of resilience, constant reinvention, and, above all, the belief that every challenge, no matter how small, can be overcome. The journey to finding the solution to his leg cramps was no different. It wasn't just about convenience or comfort, it was about his desire to keep pushing forward without being hindered by something as basic as a muscle spasm. Musk's perseverance is not just evident in the big projects he's taken on, it's woven into every aspect of his life, even down to the smallest problems, like leg cramps. After all, if he could revolutionize industries, surely he could find a way to solve this. At the heart of Elon Musk's success lies an important lesson: there is no such thing as an insurmountable challenge. Whether you're dealing with cramps that keep you up at night or trying to create a sustainable future for humanity, the mindset is the same. It's about searching for solutions, thinking outside the box, and refusing to accept failure as an option. This mindset would soon lead Musk to the discovery that would help him, and maybe even you, find relief from an issue that many of us take for granted. But before Musk could dive deeper into finding that solution, he needed to first understand the problem in a way that went beyond the typical, quick fix. He knew that knowledge, experimentation, and trial and error would be his best tools. This, after all, was the man who had made a name for himself by facing the toughest challenges head-on, never accepting the status quo, and always pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Elon Musk's mind is always in overdrive. Whether he's pondering the future of electric vehicles, the potential for human life on Mars, or how to revolutionize AI, his thoughts rarely stay focused on any one thing for long. But when it came to his leg cramps, something about this particular problem gnawed at him. It was a constant, nagging issue, disrupting his sleep and his productivity. Musk had always been a perfectionist, and the idea of something so trivial, yet persistent, derailing his focus was unacceptable. He needed a solution, fast. So, as he often does with any problem, Musk approached the issue scientifically. He began by analyzing everything he knew about muscle cramps. As a high school student, he had learned about how the body's muscles function, but now he was diving deep into the specifics: why muscles spasm, what causes them to contract involuntarily, and how they could be prevented. Musk didn't just want to fix the cramps, he wanted to understand them completely. If he could solve this, maybe he could help others who suffered from the same problem. It wasn't long before Musk's research pointed him toward one crucial factor: electrolytes. Potassium, magnesium, and calcium were the three key minerals that played a pivotal role in muscle function. Deficiencies in any of these could cause muscles to contract erratically, leading to cramps. Musk had a realization. These three minerals weren't just important for elite athletes or bodybuilders, they were vital for everyone. The balance of electrolytes was something Musk needed to correct in his own body if he hoped to put an end to the cramps. It was easy to see the link between a lack of these minerals and muscle cramps, but where to find them was a different question altogether. There were supplements, of course, but Musk wasn't a fan of quick fixes or pills. He preferred a more natural approach. After all, he had built a career on disrupting industries and solving complex problems with innovative, often simple solutions. This would be no different. The answer, Musk believed, had to lie in whole foods, the kind of foods that were rich in these essential minerals, without any artificial additives or synthetics. He started experimenting with his diet. The first food he turned to was bananas. High in potassium, they were a natural choice, and he'd always liked them. Musk began eating one banana every day, as part of his breakfast or as a snack during his afternoon work breaks. But he didn't stop there. His research had shown that magnesium was another critical mineral when it came to preventing cramps, and the best source for that was spinach. So, he began adding spinach to his diet as well, incorporating it into smoothies and salads. Yet even with these changes, Musk wasn't convinced. He felt like something was missing. There were still moments when the cramps would strike, usually at night when he least expected them. The pain was still there, though not as severe as it had been in the past. Musk needed more. He needed to be sure that he was getting all the necessary nutrients to maintain balance in his body. This is when he stumbled upon sweet potatoes, another food that was rich in potassium, but also packed with complex carbohydrates that provided long-lasting energy. Musk wasn't just adding these foods to his meals randomly, though. He was measuring, tracking, and adjusting his intake carefully. His mind, ever the engineer, approached this with the precision of a scientist conducting an experiment. He wanted to ensure that these foods weren't just helping to stop the cramps, but that they were actually improving his overall strength, focus, and energy. The goal wasn't just relief from leg cramps, it was about taking control of his body, his health, and his ability to perform at the highest level. However, the process wasn't as smooth as Musk had hoped. Despite his careful adjustments, the cramps still persisted from time to time. Musk found himself in a familiar place, frustration. It was a feeling he had experienced countless times before, as he pushed through challenges that seemed impossible. When he first launched SpaceX, critics said it couldn't be done. When Tesla faced financial ruin, people doubted it would survive. But Musk had always believed that failure was just another step on the path to success. This time, however, the issue wasn't about a grand project or an industry to revolutionize. It was personal. The cramps were a constant reminder of something beyond his control. They were, in a way, an enemy that he couldn't outsmart. But Musk, with all his resilience, wasn't about to give up. Instead, he doubled down. He didn't accept this failure as the end of the road, he saw it as another opportunity to learn, grow, and adapt. As weeks passed, Musk began to experiment further. He started to pay attention to how his body reacted to certain combinations of foods and how different times of day affected his cramps. He had always prided himself on being meticulous, whether in his work or in his personal life, and this time was no different. Slowly, he began to see improvements, not just in his cramps, but in his overall well-being. His energy levels were more stable, his focus sharper, and the cramps were occurring less frequently. But there was still more to be discovered. Musk wasn't one to settle for mediocrity, and as the weeks went by, he continued his search for the perfect balance. He knew that leg cramps were just the tip of the iceberg. If he could fix this, maybe there were even bigger breakthroughs to be found. After all, Musk had always believed that the future of humanity depended on addressing both the big and the small problems, whether it was creating a sustainable energy future or ensuring that everyday people didn't suffer from discomfort or pain in their daily lives. It was this relentless pursuit of answers, this refusal to accept things as they were, that led Musk to something unexpected, a deeper understanding of how his body operated and how nutrition could be the key to unlocking not just relief from cramps but also better performance in every aspect of his life. The search for the perfect combination of foods that would stop Elon Musk's leg cramps wasn't just a matter of trial and error. It was a personal journey, one that led to a surprising discovery. As Musk continued experimenting with his diet, he realized that even small changes could have an enormous impact on his physical well-being. Each step, each adjustment, felt like a piece of the puzzle finally falling into place. But the ultimate breakthrough came when Musk began to look at his nutritional intake not just from the perspective of solving the cramps, but from the bigger picture of overall health and energy. One evening, after another long day of meetings and brainstorming sessions at Tesla, Musk sat down with a simple meal of roasted sweet potatoes and spinach. He had just finished his usual morning smoothie with a banana, and he had spent much of the afternoon reviewing plans for a new project at SpaceX. Despite his busy schedule, he was beginning to feel a new sense of energy, something he hadn't experienced in a long time. The cramps had become less frequent, and when they did occur, they were milder, less disruptive. But it wasn't just the leg cramps that had improved. Musk noticed something else. He felt more focused, more alert, and more energized than he had in years. His brain, usually buzzing with 100 different thoughts at once, felt clearer, more organized. He found himself staying sharp longer into the night, tackling complex problems without the mental fog that had often followed him after hours of work. It was as if his body, nourished by the foods he'd been incorporating into his diet, was functioning at a higher level. For someone like Musk, who had built an empire on the foundation of pushing the limits of human potential, this felt like a revelation. He had always believed that in order to achieve greatness, it wasn't just about working harder, it was about working smarter. And part of working smarter was understanding his body and its needs on a deeper level. The more he reflected on this, the more it became clear to him, the combination of three simple foods, bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes, had given his body the nutrients it needed to not only stop the cramps but to enhance his overall performance. These foods, rich in potassium, magnesium, and calcium, weren't just keeping his muscles from cramping. They were providing him with the strength to push through even the most intense days without feeling drained. His physical energy had increased, but so had his mental stamina. Elon Musk wasn't just finding relief from a small inconvenience anymore, he was discovering a new level of vitality that could fuel him in his most ambitious endeavors. This wasn't just about his legs. This was about his mind, his body, and how they worked together to help him achieve his goals. And in true Musk fashion, he wasn't going to keep this knowledge to himself. If these foods could help him, someone who constantly pushes the boundaries of human limits, then they could help others too. He began sharing his findings with close colleagues at Tesla and SpaceX, telling them how the changes he had made to his diet had not only reduced the cramps but had also boosted his mental clarity and energy levels. The response was more enthusiastic than he had expected. People who had long been struggling with their own health issues, chronic fatigue, muscle soreness, even brain fog, started to notice similar improvements when they followed his dietary suggestions. Word spread quickly, and soon, a small group of his friends and coworkers were incorporating these foods into their own diets, experimenting with the same combinations Musk had used. But it wasn't just his colleagues who were benefiting. Musk started receiving messages from strangers, people who had heard about his diet experiment and wanted to know more. Many of them had struggled with leg cramps or muscle pain, just like Musk had. They were eager to know if the foods that had worked for him might help them too. It was then that Musk realized he had stumbled upon something that could impact the lives of millions of people. The solution was so simple, so accessible, that it could be applied universally. His next step was to take his discoveries to a wider audience. He started talking about the importance of diet in his interviews, casually mentioning how adding 3 key foods to his meals had made a tangible difference in his physical and mental performance. But his message wasn't just about stopping leg cramps, it was about taking control of your health in a way that doesn't require expensive supplements or complex medical procedures. It was about fueling your body with the right nutrients, in the right way, to achieve your full potential. But the real turning point came when Musk began testing the results even further. He had already noticed the improvements in his own life, but he wanted to see if there was any scientific backing to his newfound regimen. Could the benefits of these foods, bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes, be explained by the science of electrolytes and muscle function? Could there be more hidden in the nutritional benefits of these foods than he had realized? Musk reached out to his network of health experts, including nutritionists and medical professionals, to dive deeper into the science. What he discovered was even more promising than he expected. Studies on electrolytes and muscle function were consistent with his own experiences. Potassium, magnesium, and calcium were not only crucial for muscle contraction and relaxation, they were also involved in maintaining proper nerve function and preventing fatigue. It was no coincidence that the foods Musk had chosen were rich in these minerals. They were working synergistically to support his body in ways he hadn't fully understood until now. This wasn't just a breakthrough for Musk, it was a confirmation of the power of nutrition and its ability to unlock new levels of health and performance. It wasn't about high-tech solutions or futuristic gadgets. It was about simple, everyday foods that had been around for centuries, yet were often overlooked for their healing properties. The more Musk thought about it, the more he realized that this discovery was as important as any of his other groundbreaking ventures. It wasn't just about improving his own life, it was about empowering others to take charge of their health in a practical, accessible way. This wasn't just about leg cramps, it was about a mindset shift, a way of thinking about food as fuel for both the body and mind. Elon Musk had always approached challenges from a scientific perspective. So, when his battle with leg cramps finally led to a solution, it wasn't just about anecdotal evidence or trial and error, it was about understanding the biology behind his body's reaction to the foods he consumed. He had always prided himself on knowing the mechanics of things, whether it was building rockets or designing electric vehicles. Now, it was time to delve into the mechanics of his body and why these specific foods worked so well at preventing leg cramps. As Musk dug deeper into the science behind his newfound approach to muscle health, he discovered that the three foods he had embraced, bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes, each contained vital nutrients that played an essential role in muscle function, nerve signaling, and overall body hydration. The journey into this scientific understanding felt like exploring a new frontier. One that was just as important as the cutting-edge innovations he championed in his companies. Musk's first focus was on bananas, the food that had started it all. Bananas were well known for their high potassium content, but Musk wanted to understand exactly why potassium was so crucial for muscle function. Potassium is an electrolyte, a mineral that carries an electric charge. It helps regulate fluid balance, nerve signals, and muscle contractions. When there is an imbalance in potassium levels, it can lead to muscle cramping. This happens because muscles rely on potassium to send the right electrical signals for contraction and relaxation. If the potassium levels are too low, the muscles can become hyperactive, leading to spasms and cramps. The average American diet often lacks adequate potassium, especially since many processed foods, which are common staples in the modern diet, contain little to no potassium. For Musk, it became clear that the regular intake of potassium-rich foods like bananas was essential for ensuring that his muscles could function properly, preventing the spasms that had plagued him for so long. Next, Musk turned to spinach, which was packed with magnesium, another critical mineral for muscle health. While potassium was essential for muscle contraction, magnesium was the key to muscle relaxation. Magnesium works by regulating the movement of calcium into the muscle cells, ensuring that muscles can relax after contracting. Without enough magnesium, muscles can become stiff and prone to cramping. Magnesium also plays a role in nerve function, helping to control the signals that muscles receive. If the nervous system isn't functioning correctly due to a magnesium deficiency, the communication between the brain and the muscles can be disrupted, which can trigger cramping. Studies had shown that magnesium supplementation was effective at reducing muscle cramps, particularly in athletes or individuals with insufficient magnesium intake. For Musk, incorporating spinach, one of the most magnesium-rich leafy greens, into his diet made sense. The more he read about the benefits of magnesium, the more convinced he became that this was the missing piece to his solution. The third key food in Musk's regimen was sweet potatoes. While bananas and spinach were targeted at correcting deficiencies in potassium and magnesium, sweet potatoes brought another essential nutrient to the table: complex carbohydrates. These slow-digesting carbs not only provide energy but also help stabilize blood sugar levels throughout the day. Musk had always been a fan of balanced energy, something that sustained him through long hours of work without leading to a crash. But sweet potatoes also contain significant amounts of potassium and a variety of vitamins and minerals, including vitamin A and fiber. The balance of carbs and nutrients helped Musk's body maintain steady energy levels, which prevented the fatigue that could often lead to cramps, particularly when working late into the night. The combination of these three foods, bananas for potassium, spinach for magnesium, and sweet potatoes for carbohydrates, created the perfect storm for muscle health. The timing of these foods, Musk realized, was just as important as the nutrients themselves. By consuming these foods at strategic points in the day, particularly before sleep, he gave his muscles the best chance to relax and recover while he slept. Musk's fascination with the science behind his breakthrough wasn't just about intellectual curiosity, it was about making this knowledge accessible to others. He had always believed in the power of innovation to solve everyday problems, whether that was reducing carbon emissions or creating reusable rockets. Now, he saw an opportunity to do the same for health. As he began to feel the positive effects of his diet on his own body, fewer cramps, more energy, better focus, he wanted to share this knowledge. This wasn't just about the foods themselves, it was about how they worked in harmony to support the body's natural processes. Musk knew that by spreading the word about these simple, natural solutions, he could help others take control of their health the same way he had. Musk had spent years tackling monumental challenges, but this small, personal problem had revealed something deeply important. It wasn't just about finding a cure for cramps, it was about the principle of self-optimization. By understanding the body and how it worked, Musk had managed to solve a problem that had plagued him for years, and in doing so, he realized that this process could be applied to many aspects of life. The emotional impact of his journey was profound. As someone who had built companies that aimed to solve massive, global issues, Musk had always believed that the key to success was relentless pursuit and innovation. But solving a problem as small and personal as muscle cramps brought a new perspective. It reminded him that even the smallest things could have a significant impact on quality of life. It wasn't just the physical relief Musk had experienced that changed him, it was the realization that understanding the body's needs was as important as understanding technology. It was a humbling experience, and one that made Musk even more committed to the idea that anyone, no matter who they were or what they did, could optimize their life through small, conscious decisions. The next step was clear: share this knowledge. As Musk often did with his groundbreaking ideas, he believed this simple but powerful information about leg cramps could have far-reaching effects. Just as SpaceX had opened up the possibility of Mars exploration and Tesla had changed the electric vehicle industry, this simple dietary insight could improve the lives of millions. It wasn't just about stopping leg cramps, it was about taking control of the body, mind, and life. The impact of Elon Musk's personal journey with leg cramps began to ripple out in unexpected ways. What started as a minor health issue, one that Musk initially sought to solve for purely personal reasons, had transformed into a broader vision. In the same way Musk had revolutionized the automotive and aerospace industries, he saw an opportunity to reshape the way people thought about health and wellness. The key to that vision lay in a simple truth he had learned over the past few months: small, consistent changes in diet and lifestyle could have profound effects on both physical and mental well-being. Musk's insight into the foods that helped him prevent leg cramps, bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes, was just the beginning. He realized that if a single dietary adjustment could dramatically improve his performance and quality of life, then perhaps there was a broader opportunity to optimize human health across the globe. He began brainstorming ways to bring his newfound knowledge to a larger audience. It wasn't enough to simply share his personal success story, he wanted to create a sustainable, long-term wellness initiative within his companies that could improve the lives of his employees, customers, and, by extension, the world. After all, Musk wasn't just interested in making money or achieving success in his businesses, he was driven by a desire to make a lasting impact on humanity, whether that was through electric cars, space exploration, or better, healthier lives for all. Musk's vision for a wellness initiative started within the walls of his companies, Tesla and SpaceX. He saw an opportunity to apply the same principles of innovation and optimization that had made his companies so successful to the realm of personal health. He began by implementing changes in his own lifestyle, using his experience to refine his approach. The first step was to gather a team of health experts, nutritionists, and fitness coaches to create a comprehensive wellness program for his employees. Musk didn't want this to be a temporary trend or a half-hearted corporate wellness program. He wanted it to be integrated into the very fabric of his companies, with employees encouraged to adopt habits that promoted long-term health, both physically and mentally. Musk's first idea was simple yet powerful: food. He wanted to make sure that the foods which had worked so well for him, bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes, became accessible to every employee. In every Tesla and SpaceX cafeteria, these foods became the staples of the menu. Musk also encouraged his employees to adopt healthy, balanced diets rich in nutrients that supported muscle function, cognitive performance, and overall well-being. But food was just the beginning. Musk had learned the hard way that leg cramps weren't just caused by a lack of potassium, magnesium, or hydration, they were also connected to stress, fatigue, and the physical demands placed on the body. So, he introduced mindfulness practices and stress management techniques into the workplace. Yoga classes, guided meditation sessions, and breathing exercises became a regular part of the workday at both Tesla and SpaceX. Musk wanted his employees to understand that a balanced life, one that incorporated physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being, was just as essential as their work on electric cars or rockets. As the wellness initiative began to take shape, Musk saw that his employees weren't just feeling better, they were performing better. Energy levels soared, creativity flourished, and productivity improved. But the most profound effect was in the shift in mindset. Employees no longer saw their physical health as a side note to their work. They realized that by taking care of their bodies, they were investing in their ability to innovate and achieve. Musk didn't stop there. His companies had always prided themselves on pushing the limits of what was possible, whether that was in technology or business. Now, he wanted to push the limits of human potential. Musk understood that optimizing human performance didn't stop at the workplace, he wanted to impact the world at large. Elon Musk's wellness program didn't just stay within the walls of Tesla and SpaceX. Musk had always been a forward thinker, and he recognized that his influence extended far beyond his companies. In a bold move, he announced a partnership with nutritionists and wellness experts to create a global wellness platform. The goal was clear: to provide people with the tools and knowledge to optimize their health, prevent chronic conditions like muscle cramps, and improve overall well-being. Musk's platform aimed to provide resources on everything from diet and exercise to stress management and sleep optimization. The idea was to make health accessible to everyone, regardless of their background or location. Musk's companies were already known for disrupting industries. Now, they would disrupt the health and wellness industry by bringing cutting-edge science to the masses. One of the platform's key features was an app that helped users track their nutrition, exercise, and hydration. It offered personalized meal plans based on a user's specific needs, whether they were looking to prevent cramps, improve muscle function, or simply eat more healthily. The app also included stress relief exercises, sleep tracking, and even virtual fitness classes, all designed to help users optimize their physical and mental well-being. Musk's focus on simplicity and accessibility was key to the platform's success. Just as he had made electric cars and space exploration more attainable for the general public, he wanted to make wellness easy and effective for everyone. His initiative was based on the idea that health shouldn't be an elite pursuit, it should be available to anyone who was willing to make small, consistent changes in their life. As Musk stood on the podium at a press conference announcing the launch of the Global Wellness Initiative, he couldn't help but reflect on how far he had come. A small, personal issue, leg cramps, had led to something far greater than he could have ever imagined. In a way, the journey had been a microcosm of his larger career, tackling a problem head-on, exploring new ideas, and relentlessly pursuing solutions until he found one that worked. But there was also a deeper realization that came with this journey. Musk had always been driven by the desire to push the boundaries of technology and space. But the experience of optimizing his own health had reminded him that human beings themselves, our bodies and minds, were the most important resource. Without health, nothing else mattered. No rocket, no car, no invention could replace the power of a well-functioning, energized human being. He looked at the faces of his employees, the people he had always regarded as the heart of his companies. They were no longer just working machines, they were individuals who had learned to prioritize their own well-being in a way that allowed them to bring their best selves to work every day. The impact of this initiative wasn't just on the employees at Tesla and SpaceX, it was on every single person who had access to the platform, who took the time to learn about nutrition, exercise, and health optimization. Musk knew that the seeds had been planted for a global movement, a movement that might one day change the way people approached their health and wellness. It wasn't about being perfect, it was about being intentional and making small, meaningful changes that added up over time. And as for Musk, he had discovered a new purpose, to help people achieve their highest potential, not just in terms of business or technology, but in terms of their own lives. After all, if there was one thing he had learned from his experience, it was that the key to greatness wasn't just about what you built, it was about how well you took care of the one thing that truly mattered, yourself. As the cameras flashed and the crowd cheered, Musk smiled. The journey had just begun. Elon Musk's wellness initiative had sparked a movement that extended far beyond Tesla and SpaceX. What had begun as a personal journey to solve the problem of leg cramps had grown into a revolutionary platform that was transforming the way people thought about health and performance. Musk's commitment to integrating wellness into his companies was more than just a corporate initiative, it was a blueprint for the future of human optimization. And in the long run, it would shape not only his companies but also the lives of millions of people around the world. As the months passed, the results of the wellness initiative became more evident. The wellness platform saw unprecedented growth, and more individuals, from Tesla employees to the general public, began using it to track their health, make better dietary choices, and optimize their physical and mental well-being. Musk's belief that the key to human potential lay in taking care of the body had proven to be true. But it wasn't just the app that was driving this change. The cultural shift within Tesla and SpaceX was even more remarkable. At Tesla and SpaceX, the wellness initiative had transformed the workplace. Employees were no longer just focused on meeting deadlines or delivering results, they were focused on how to optimize their bodies and minds for sustained performance. And it wasn't just the top executives who embraced the initiative. The entire workforce, from the engineers to the factory floor workers, began adopting healthier lifestyles. Musk had introduced company-wide health challenges, where teams competed to improve their wellness scores. These challenges weren't about losing weight or building muscle, they were designed to encourage holistic well-being. Employees were encouraged to track their sleep patterns, hydration, stress levels, and nutrition. The company offered incentives for employees who consistently improved their wellness scores, including extra vacation days, wellness stipends, and exclusive access to health seminars led by experts. But the most striking change came from the employees themselves. They were not just healthier, they were more energized, more engaged, and more innovative. The mental clarity and physical energy that came from consistent wellness practices allowed them to tackle problems with a newfound focus. There was a palpable shift in the atmosphere at both Tesla and SpaceX. The once overworked, high-stress environments had transformed into places where creativity flourished, and employees felt empowered to bring their best ideas forward. Musk had long been known for his relentless work ethic, but with the wellness initiative in full swing, he saw firsthand how taking care of his employees' well-being led to higher levels of performance. It was a powerful reminder that human beings were the most important asset in any organization. The Global Wellness Platform, which started as a simple initiative for Tesla and SpaceX employees, expanded far beyond Musk's companies. What Musk had unintentionally done was create a movement that resonated with people from all walks of life. It became clear that wellness wasn't just about preventing cramps or increasing productivity, it was about reclaiming control over one's own body and mind in an increasingly demanding world. The app, which Musk had envisioned as a tool for optimizing individual health, became a key part of the global conversation around self-improvement. It was featured in health and wellness magazines, discussed on podcasts, and incorporated into universities and fitness centers. People began to recognize that optimizing their physical and mental health wasn't just for athletes or CEOs, it was for everyone. Musk had always been an advocate for accessibility, and this wellness platform was no different. The platform offered free resources for those who couldn't afford premium services, ensuring that the benefits of optimal health were accessible to people in all income brackets. It was about democratizing wellness in the same way Musk had worked to democratize space travel and electric cars. Beyond the app, Musk's wellness initiative began to influence entire industries. Nutritionists, fitness experts, and health professionals began to adopt the principles of the initiative, incorporating Musk's dietary recommendations into their own practices. The focus on simple, whole foods, bananas, spinach, sweet potatoes, became mainstream, with chefs, health bloggers, and influencers sharing recipes and advice on how to incorporate these foods into everyday life. While Musk's wellness initiative had a profound impact on his companies and the world, it also had a significant effect on his personal life. Musk had always been intensely focused on his work, often at the expense of his physical health. But after experiencing the benefits of his wellness regimen, he began to see the importance of maintaining balance in his own life. He found that he was able to perform at his highest level when he prioritized his health. His energy levels were higher, his focus was sharper, and he felt more at peace with himself. It wasn't just about preventing cramps, it was about achieving a level of personal well-being that allowed him to thrive both in his professional and personal life. Musk had always struggled to balance work with family life, often pushing himself and his teams to the brink to achieve his ambitious goals. But with his new commitment to wellness, he began to take time for self-care, something that had always been a challenge for him. He started exercising regularly, taking breaks during the workday to meditate, and making time to enjoy the company of his friends and family. As he reflected on the changes in his life, Musk realized that the wellness initiative had given him something invaluable: time. The more he focused on his health, the more efficient and effective he became. He was able to achieve more with less effort, which in turn allowed him to spend more time with his loved ones. It was a revelation, a reminder that success wasn't just about working harder, but about working smarter and taking care of oneself along the way. Musk's journey had come full circle. What had started as a personal struggle with leg cramps had turned into a global movement focused on optimizing human health. Through this journey, Musk had not only improved his own life but also influenced millions of people around the world to take control of their health and well-being. But beyond the physical benefits of this initiative, Musk had also created a new way of thinking about success. He realized that true success wasn't just about innovation or achievement, it was about balance, well-being, and the long-term sustainability of human performance. Just as SpaceX aimed to make life multiplanetary and Tesla sought to reduce humanity's carbon footprint, Musk's wellness initiative sought to improve the human experience, ensuring that people could perform at their best, for as long as possible. This new philosophy, grounded in the idea that optimal health leads to optimal performance, had the potential to change not just individuals but entire societies. It wasn't just about making money or achieving goals, it was about creating a world where people could live their best lives, both personally and professionally. Elon Musk had always been a visionary. From revolutionizing the electric car industry with Tesla to pushing the boundaries of space exploration with SpaceX, he had reshaped entire industries by applying unconventional thinking and bold innovation. His wellness initiative was no different. What had begun as a personal quest to relieve leg cramps had become a movement that was redefining the relationship between health, performance, and long-term sustainability. And as Musk looked to the future, he began to see that wellness was not just a personal pursuit, it was an integral part of the larger narrative of human evolution. The wellness initiative Musk had pioneered was already having far-reaching effects on his companies and employees, but Musk's ambitions didn't stop there. He had always viewed technology as the key to solving complex problems, and he quickly realized that the future of health would lie in the intersection of technology and wellness. With his background in engineering and innovation, Musk saw the opportunity to integrate cutting-edge technologies into the wellness platform. Advances in AI, biotechnology, and personalized medicine were progressing at an exponential rate. By incorporating these technologies, Musk believed he could not only improve people's health on a large scale but also push the boundaries of human performance to levels never before imagined. At the heart of this vision was the idea of personalized wellness. Musk's platform had already offered individuals the ability to track their nutrition, exercise, and stress levels. But personalized wellness would go a step further. Imagine a system that could analyze an individual's genetic makeup, lifestyle habits, and real-time health data to create an entirely personalized health plan, one that could predict and prevent health issues before they occurred. Musk had already begun talks with leading biotech firms to develop advanced health monitoring devices, powered by artificial intelligence, that would give users a complete picture of their health at any given moment. These devices would not only track vital signs such as heart rate and blood pressure but also assess biomarkers for potential health risks, like nutrient deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, and even genetic predispositions to conditions like arthritis or diabetes. The data collected would then be processed by AI algorithms that could recommend specific lifestyle changes, dietary adjustments, and exercise routines, ultimately optimizing an individual's health for maximum performance. As always, Musk's vision for the future went beyond the confines of Earth. He had already set his sights on Mars with SpaceX, and he knew that human health would be critical to the success of long-term space travel. The rigors of space exploration, prolonged microgravity, radiation exposure, and the psychological challenges of isolation, would place enormous strain on astronauts' bodies and minds. To ensure that humans could survive and thrive on distant planets, Musk believed that space health needed to be redefined. Space missions, particularly long-duration missions to Mars, would require an entirely new approach to wellness. SpaceX had already begun experimenting with advanced life support systems and habitat designs for Mars, but Musk understood that beyond just keeping astronauts alive, the goal was to keep them physically and mentally healthy for extended periods of time. As part of his wellness initiative, Musk began working with leading scientists to explore ways to protect the human body from the effects of space travel. One key area of focus was combating muscle atrophy and bone density loss caused by long-term exposure to microgravity. Solutions ranged from advanced exercise regimens to space suits that could simulate gravity, to nutritional interventions that would help astronauts maintain muscle and bone strength. But it wasn't just about the physical body. Musk also recognized that the psychological toll of long-duration space travel could be just as debilitating. Isolation, confinement, and the lack of natural stimuli could lead to depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. As part of the wellness initiative, Musk began exploring ways to use AI-driven mental health tools, virtual reality, and neurotechnology to help astronauts maintain their mental well-being. He envisioned a future where astronauts could access therapy sessions, mindfulness exercises, and cognitive enhancement tools, all tailored to their specific needs. For Musk, the future of health was not limited to the Earth, it was about ensuring that humans could survive and thrive no matter where they went in the universe. Wellness, he believed, would play a critical role in humanity's ability to expand beyond our home planet. On Earth, Musk's wellness initiative continued to grow in influence. As more people began to embrace the idea that health and performance were interconnected, the wellness platform evolved into a global movement, one that transcended the boundaries of Musk's companies. He began receiving requests from governments, healthcare systems, and educational institutions around the world, eager to adopt the principles of the initiative and integrate them into their own communities. Musk knew that wellness wasn't just about individual performance, it was about creating a healthier, more sustainable society. His platform had already improved the lives of millions, but now it was time to scale up and make wellness a central pillar of global policy. He envisioned a world where every city had accessible wellness hubs, places where people could learn about nutrition, exercise, and mental health. These hubs would also serve as community centers, offering support and education to those who needed it most. He also began collaborating with international health organizations to promote the idea of preventative care. The focus of global healthcare had long been on treating diseases after they occurred, but Musk wanted to shift the focus to prevention. By implementing the principles of personalized wellness, tracking an individual's health data, identifying risks, and making proactive changes, he believed that the world could significantly reduce the prevalence of chronic conditions and improve the overall quality of life for billions of people. As Musk looked toward the future, he realized that wellness was more than just a trend or a passing interest, it was the future of human performance. From the individual level to the global scale, optimizing health and well-being would be the key to unlocking humanity's full potential. And this, Musk believed, would be the next frontier of innovation. The future of wellness, for Musk, was about creating a world where people could achieve their highest potential, not just in terms of physical strength, but in cognitive ability, emotional resilience, and overall quality of life. It was about using technology to empower individuals to take control of their own health, while also ensuring that entire societies could thrive. Through advancements in personalized health, space exploration, and global wellness initiatives, Musk was laying the groundwork for a future where health was no longer an afterthought, it was at the center of everything. Just as he had revolutionized the automotive and aerospace industries, Musk now saw an opportunity to revolutionize the way humanity approached health and wellness. And so, with his usual sense of bold optimism, Musk continued to push forward, exploring new frontiers, tackling new challenges, and always seeking new ways to improve the human experience. Whether on Earth or in space, he believed that the key to the future lay in optimizing human health, unlocking the full potential of every individual, and ultimately, humanity itself. As Elon Musk's wellness initiative continued to reshape the way people viewed health and performance, it didn't take long for the ripple effects to extend beyond Tesla and SpaceX. What had started as an experiment to optimize human health for the elite few soon began infiltrating a wide range of industries, transforming everything from education to technology, from healthcare to entertainment. Musk had ignited a global movement, one that would forever alter the way people approached their physical and mental well-being. Musk's innovation in integrating wellness into the workplace had begun to resonate with leaders across various sectors. CEOs and company founders from all over the world were reaching out to Musk, eager to understand how the wellness platform had transformed Tesla and SpaceX. It was clear that the model Musk had introduced, where the health of employees was seen as a critical driver of success, had the potential to revolutionize corporate culture. In tech companies like Google, Apple, and Amazon, wellness programs had already existed, but Musk's approach was different. He didn't just provide gym memberships or health insurance. He embedded wellness into the very fabric of the company culture. His program was about more than just physical health, it was about creating a holistic approach to well-being that took into account the mind, body, and spirit. The result? A new wave of corporate wellness programs began to take shape. Companies worldwide began to adopt Musk's principles of proactive health management, offering their employees the tools and support to track and optimize every aspect of their well-being. By incorporating AI-driven health assessments, stress management workshops, personalized nutrition advice, and mindfulness training, these companies not only improved employee satisfaction and retention but also increased productivity and creativity. Some of the most notable shifts occurred in industries previously known for their high-stress environments. In law firms, consulting companies, and investment banks, where long hours and high pressure were the norm, the wellness movement began to gain traction. Leadership teams recognized that investing in employee well-being wasn't just the right thing to do, it was the smart thing to do. These industries saw a reduction in burnout rates, an increase in employee engagement, and a shift toward more sustainable work practices. While the corporate world quickly embraced Musk's wellness initiative, the education sector was also beginning to take notice. Schools and universities around the world were beginning to realize that the key to unlocking the potential of students wasn't just about academic performance, it was about holistic development. As mental health challenges among young people continued to rise, institutions began to adopt wellness programs that focused not only on physical fitness but also on emotional and cognitive health. Musk's wellness model inspired a new generation of educational leaders to rethink how they supported their students. School systems, from elementary schools to universities, began to integrate wellness programs into their curriculums, with a focus on mental health resources, stress management, and the development of resilience. This approach aimed to help students build healthy habits early on, enabling them to perform at their best academically while maintaining their emotional well-being. Universities began offering courses on health optimization, providing students with the tools to live healthy, balanced lives. Meditation, nutrition, and mindfulness workshops became common, helping students not only cope with academic pressures but also thrive in their personal lives. In many ways, this shift was about preparing the next generation of leaders to excel not just in their careers but in their personal lives as well, with the understanding that long-term success required a healthy mind and body. Perhaps the most significant industry transformation came in the healthcare sector. Musk's wellness initiative sparked a global conversation about the need for a more proactive and personalized approach to healthcare. For decades, healthcare systems worldwide had focused on treating illness rather than preventing it. But with Musk's platform emphasizing prevention, tracking, and optimization, the healthcare industry began to slowly shift toward a model that prioritized wellness. By utilizing the health tracking technologies developed for Musk's wellness platform, healthcare providers started offering more personalized and data-driven care. Patients were able to use wearable devices to track key health metrics, and doctors could analyze this real-time data to make more informed decisions about treatment. The data collected was not only useful for immediate healthcare needs but also provided predictive insights, allowing doctors to anticipate potential health issues before they became serious problems. The emphasis on wellness led to a broader conversation about the way healthcare was provided. Instead of waiting for patients to come in with symptoms of chronic conditions like diabetes or hypertension, healthcare systems began to focus on early detection and prevention. Routine wellness assessments became as commonplace as annual physical exams, and individuals were encouraged to take a proactive role in managing their health. Pharmaceutical companies began to invest in developing treatments that supported overall wellness, not just the treatment of symptoms. They started researching how nutrition, exercise, and mental health could influence the course of diseases and how integrated care could provide better outcomes. Companies that previously focused on making medications for specific diseases now began to think about creating holistic wellness solutions, ranging from supplements that supported cognitive function to therapies that helped manage stress and anxiety. The wellness movement also made waves in the entertainment industry. For years, Hollywood had been known for its high-stress culture, where long working hours, unhealthy lifestyles, and constant pressure took a toll on the physical and mental health of performers and workers alike. However, as Musk's wellness initiative gained traction, studios and production companies began to realize the importance of health and well-being for the success of their projects. Top actors and actresses were increasingly vocal about their commitment to wellness, advocating for healthier lifestyles both on and off the screen. They championed wellness in the form of meditation, yoga, and balanced nutrition, inspiring their fans to adopt similar practices in their own lives. Behind the scenes, production companies began offering more robust wellness programs to their employees, including fitness centers, mental health support, and healthy meal options. Furthermore, wellness became a central theme in movies, TV shows, and documentaries. Filmmakers began to produce content that explored the importance of mental health, personal development, and self-care. Documentaries about the human body, fitness journeys, and personal growth became popular on streaming platforms. The public's growing interest in wellness was reflected not just in what people were consuming but in the values embedded in the entertainment they watched. The wellness initiative had grown beyond Musk's original intentions. What had started as a personal mission had become a global movement, one that was shifting the way people lived, worked, and interacted with each other. Musk's vision of a world where wellness was at the center of every decision, every business, and every institution was starting to take shape. As more industries embraced wellness, a global ecosystem began to emerge, one where health optimization was seen not as an afterthought but as the foundation for success. From workplaces to schools, from healthcare to entertainment, the principles of wellness were being integrated into every facet of life. And in doing so, the world was becoming healthier, more balanced, and more productive. The question that remained was, what would the future look like if every individual, organization, and society placed wellness at the core of their values? The answer was becoming clearer with every passing day. It was a future where people not only survived but thrived, where long-term health was valued as much as short-term success, and where every individual had the tools to unlock their full potential. As Elon Musk's wellness revolution continued to grow, its influence began to shape not only the current generation but also those yet to come. With the future of health becoming increasingly intertwined with technology, the question that lingered was how these advancements would impact the workforce of tomorrow. What would the next generation of workers look like in a world where wellness wasn't just an afterthought but a cornerstone of success? Musk's belief in the interconnectedness of wellness and productivity led him to envision a future where the focus shifted from traditional work paradigms to a more holistic approach, one that nurtured mental, physical, and emotional health, alongside career development and professional achievements. This new way of thinking would have profound implications for education, career paths, and even the workplace itself. The education system was the first to undergo a massive transformation as wellness principles began to infiltrate classrooms worldwide. By focusing on holistic development, students were no longer expected to just excel academically but also to nurture their mental and physical well-being. Musk's wellness initiatives influenced a growing number of schools, from K-12 institutions to universities, which started to implement wellness programs alongside their academic curriculum. A major shift in education was the incorporation of emotional intelligence, EQ, and resilience training into school curriculums. Schools began offering courses designed to help children manage stress, practice mindfulness, and develop healthier interpersonal relationships. In these programs, students not only learned math, science, and literature but also how to build mental resilience, communicate effectively, and cope with challenges. It was clear that by investing in their emotional and mental health early on, students were better equipped to handle the rigors of adulthood, including the professional world. Furthermore, personalized learning became the standard in many educational systems. With advancements in AI and data analytics, educators could tailor learning experiences to each student's strengths and challenges, allowing them to progress at their own pace. This personalized approach extended beyond academics to include social-emotional learning and physical fitness, ensuring that every student had a comprehensive educational experience that prepared them for success in every aspect of life. By the time students graduated, they weren't just prepared for jobs, they were prepared for life. They understood the importance of health and well-being, knew how to set boundaries, and had developed habits for maintaining a balanced and fulfilling life. This new generation of workers was equipped with a new set of tools, blending technical expertise with the emotional and physical intelligence required to thrive in an ever-changing world. In the workforce of tomorrow, success would no longer be defined by sheer productivity alone. Instead, it would be measured by a balance of intellectual achievement and personal well-being. Companies, inspired by Musk's wellness initiative, started to place a greater emphasis on the mental and physical health of their employees, recognizing that a healthy workforce was the key to sustained success. One of the biggest shifts in this new workforce was the growing importance of adaptability. In a world where technology, industries, and job markets were evolving at lightning speed, the ability to adapt was crucial. Employees who embraced wellness practices, whether through mindfulness, stress management, or physical fitness, were better able to handle change and uncertainty. Musk's wellness platform, integrated into work environments, allowed employees to track their emotional and physical states, offering them insights and strategies to stay resilient, no matter what challenges came their way. Moreover, wellness-focused companies began to prioritize long-term personal development over short-term performance metrics. The idea of a work-life balance was evolving into something more dynamic, work-life integration, that took into account the employee's health, well-being, and personal growth. Employees were encouraged to take time for themselves, engage in self-care, and prioritize activities outside of work that helped them recharge. As a result, businesses experienced lower turnover rates, improved morale, and enhanced creativity, as employees were happier, healthier, and more invested in their roles. Alongside this, the workforce of tomorrow placed greater emphasis on collaborative, holistic skill sets. It was no longer enough to just excel in technical fields, employees needed emotional intelligence, the ability to manage conflict, and the capacity to collaborate effectively in diverse teams. Companies began investing in team-building activities, wellness workshops, and resilience training, preparing their workforce for challenges that went beyond the scope of technical skills. As Musk's wellness movement gained momentum, it became clear that the future of health was deeply intertwined with the advancements in technology. Wearable health devices, AI-driven health assessments, and data analysis were no longer seen as luxury add-ons, they were integral parts of daily life. The technologies that Musk had pioneered for his wellness initiative began to reach far beyond his companies, becoming embedded in everyday practices for individuals and organizations alike. By 2050, technology was no longer just a tool for increasing productivity, it was central to the well-being of people everywhere. The next generation of wearables not only tracked vital signs like heart rate, blood pressure, and sleep patterns but also provided real-time emotional and mental health assessments. These devices used biometric data to give personalized recommendations for improving health, whether it was through specific exercises, nutritional adjustments, or mental health practices. The data generated by these devices was shared with AI systems that could track trends in health over time. These systems became increasingly accurate at predicting health risks, identifying areas where an individual might be experiencing stress or burnout, and even suggesting proactive measures to improve their wellness. Healthcare providers had access to this real-time data, allowing them to make more informed decisions and tailor treatments to individual needs. It was a future where healthcare was proactive, personalized, and deeply integrated with the digital world. But it wasn't just about tracking health. Technology was also providing new ways to enhance the human experience. Virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, systems became tools for mental health support, allowing individuals to engage in therapeutic sessions from the comfort of their homes. These technologies enabled guided meditations, relaxation techniques, and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, helping individuals cope with anxiety, depression, and stress. VR wellness retreats, once considered a futuristic idea, became a common practice for people looking to unplug and focus on their mental health. The design of workspaces also evolved to reflect the growing emphasis on wellness. Gone were the days of stark, gray offices with rows of cubicles. In their place were open, flexible spaces that encouraged collaboration, creativity, and well-being. Companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and others began to design their offices with wellness in mind, spaces that incorporated natural light, outdoor areas, meditation rooms, and standing desks. These companies recognized that a healthy workspace was one that nurtured both the body and the mind, fostering a sense of community and well-being. Flexible work hours became the norm, as more companies embraced remote work, hybrid models, and flexible schedules. Employees were given the freedom to choose their own working hours, allowing them to balance their professional and personal lives more effectively. This shift led to improved productivity and job satisfaction, as employees felt empowered to manage their time in ways that best suited their health and lifestyle. As the global workforce of tomorrow took shape, it was clear that wellness had become the foundation of every successful organization. The workplaces of the future would no longer be about pushing employees to their limits, instead, they would focus on cultivating environments that allowed individuals to thrive in all areas of their lives. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? As the wellness movement took hold, it wasn't just individuals and companies that felt its effects. Governments and global economies were beginning to recognize the profound shifts occurring in society. With the widespread integration of wellness into every aspect of life, nations were now facing the question of how to adapt their policies and infrastructures to support this new paradigm. Could the global economic systems evolve to prioritize health and well-being? Would governments take the lead in supporting the widespread transformation of wellness-focused societies? Elon Musk's wellness initiative had ignited a ripple effect, influencing not only the private sector but also prompting a re-evaluation of public policies and international economic strategies. In the face of growing healthcare challenges and shifting societal needs, governments began to look at wellness not as a luxury or afterthought but as a vital component of economic stability, workforce productivity, and long-term sustainability. Across the world, healthcare systems were starting to evolve from a reactive model to a proactive one. Nations were recognizing that, by investing in the wellness of their citizens, they could reduce the long-term financial burden of treating preventable diseases and illnesses. Governments began to implement public health campaigns that emphasized preventive care, mental health support, physical fitness, and balanced nutrition. In countries like the United States, which had long struggled with a fragmented and expensive healthcare system, the focus on wellness led to reform. Federal and state governments started rolling out national wellness initiatives aimed at encouraging citizens to adopt healthier lifestyles. These initiatives included subsidized gym memberships, free mental health resources, nutrition workshops, and widespread access to health monitoring technologies. Public health policies were updated to reflect this new focus. Governments began incentivizing businesses to adopt wellness programs for their employees, providing tax breaks or grants to companies that offered health optimization benefits. Regulations were put in place to ensure that wellness technologies, such as wearable health devices and AI-powered health apps, were accessible to all citizens, not just the wealthy. Healthcare became a right, not a privilege, and wellness was integrated into the very fabric of public policy. But it wasn't just about healthcare. As wellness became a core focus of global societies, governments began integrating the principles of well-being into education, urban planning, and social services. Cities were redesigned to promote physical activity, with more parks, pedestrian-friendly streets, and bike lanes. Educational curriculums now included not only traditional subjects but also lessons in emotional intelligence, stress management, and holistic health practices. Governments began investing in infrastructure that supported mental and physical well-being, understanding that the health of their citizens was directly tied to the prosperity of their nation. With wellness at the forefront, new industries began to emerge, and traditional economic models were adapted. The global economy was beginning to shift toward what could be called a wellness-driven economy, where businesses, governments, and individuals all worked toward creating an ecosystem that prioritized health. As wellness technologies became mainstream, entire sectors of the economy, such as healthcare, fitness, nutrition, and mental health, began to experience unprecedented growth. Companies that produced wellness products, from smart health devices to supplements and fitness equipment, saw massive increases in demand. The wellness tech sector became one of the most valuable industries globally, with startups and established companies alike vying to develop new ways to improve health through innovation. AI-driven personalized wellness programs became the standard, allowing individuals to receive tailored advice based on their unique health data. The economic implications of this shift were profound. Governments began to recognize that investing in wellness had a direct correlation with economic prosperity. Healthier populations were more productive, more engaged, and less reliant on expensive healthcare services. Nations that invested in wellness were seeing long-term reductions in healthcare costs, lower rates of absenteeism in the workforce, and a higher overall quality of life for their citizens. The global workforce was also changing. As wellness became a central part of workplace culture, employees were becoming more engaged and satisfied with their jobs. This, in turn, led to higher levels of innovation and creativity, driving economic growth in industries ranging from technology to manufacturing. It wasn't just about keeping people healthy, it was about unlocking their full potential as workers and innovators. Furthermore, the rise of wellness-focused businesses created new job opportunities. Healthcare professionals, fitness coaches, nutritionists, mental health experts, and wellness consultants were in high demand. The wellness sector began to offer career paths that focused on helping others optimize their health, providing individuals with the tools and resources to succeed in both their personal and professional lives. The wellness revolution was a global phenomenon, and it didn't take long for international organizations to get involved. The United Nations, World Health Organization, WHO, and other global bodies began to incorporate wellness initiatives into their agendas, recognizing that the health of individuals was critical to the progress of entire nations. The United Nations adopted wellness as one of its Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, emphasizing the importance of ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all people at all ages. The WHO launched global campaigns aimed at reducing non-communicable diseases, NCDs, by focusing on prevention and wellness. This shift was seen as a way to combat the rising rates of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, which were taking a heavy toll on global health systems. The global wellness movement also encouraged collaboration between nations. Governments began sharing best practices for wellness initiatives, collaborating on research into new health technologies, and working together to create global standards for wellness data privacy and security. With the growth of digital health technologies and AI-driven wellness platforms, countries needed to establish international regulations to ensure that the data being collected was protected and used ethically. As countries worked together to promote wellness on a global scale, they also realized the interconnectedness of their economies. A healthier world meant a more productive world, and a more productive world meant greater global prosperity. International trade agreements began to include provisions that supported the global wellness agenda, encouraging countries to adopt health-focused policies and collaborate on health research. While the global wellness movement was making strides, challenges remained. One of the biggest hurdles was the wellness divide between developed and developing nations. Although wellness technologies and programs were flourishing in wealthier nations, they were still out of reach for many people in lower-income countries. To address this gap, governments and international organizations began to work together to ensure that wellness was accessible to all, regardless of socioeconomic status. Initiatives were launched to provide affordable wellness technologies to underserved populations, and governments started funding public health programs that focused on preventing diseases like malnutrition, malaria, and HIV/AIDS. Moreover, as wellness became more integrated into daily life, there was the risk that some individuals and communities would be left behind, unable to access the resources and tools necessary for health optimization. In response, governments and corporations alike began to focus on inclusivity, ensuring that wellness programs and products were designed to cater to diverse populations, including those with disabilities, those living in remote areas, and those from different cultural backgrounds. As the wellness movement continued to transform the global economy and healthcare systems, it began to intersect with one of the most pressing challenges of the 21st century, sustainability. The idea that human well-being and environmental health were intricately linked was gaining ground. Elon Musk's initiatives, which had initially focused on individual health, now began to merge with broader environmental and sustainability efforts, creating a unified approach to addressing the planet's future. In the past, the pursuit of economic growth had often come at the expense of the environment. Natural resources were exploited, ecosystems were damaged, and climate change accelerated. But as global wellness and environmental consciousness intertwined, a new paradigm began to emerge, one in which human health and environmental health were seen as inseparable. It wasn't enough to simply care about individual wellness. The health of the planet itself needed to be prioritized in order to ensure the long-term well-being of future generations. The first step in this new vision was recognizing that sustainability and wellness were two sides of the same coin. Environmental degradation had a direct impact on public health. Air pollution, water contamination, and habitat destruction led to a host of physical and mental health issues. In response, nations and companies began to adopt sustainability practices that supported both the environment and the health of their populations. The most notable of these was the push for cleaner, greener energy sources. Musk, through his companies like Tesla and SolarCity, was already championing a transition to renewable energy. But as the wellness movement gained momentum, this shift began to take on new importance. Clean energy wasn't just about reducing carbon emissions, it was about creating healthier living conditions for people around the world. A shift to solar, wind, and other renewable sources meant cleaner air, fewer respiratory diseases, and healthier communities. It meant less reliance on harmful fossil fuels, which had long been linked to public health crises. Moreover, the concept of a circular economy took center stage. Rather than the traditional linear model of take, make, and dispose, a circular economy emphasized sustainability through recycling, reusing, and reducing waste. Products were designed to last longer, be recycled more easily, and have minimal impact on the environment. Companies began to integrate wellness into the life cycle of their products, ensuring that everything from manufacturing to disposal was as eco-friendly and health-conscious as possible. Governments, too, were aligning their policies with sustainability and wellness. Cities began to adopt green building practices, with an emphasis on energy-efficient, sustainable architecture that also prioritized the health and comfort of residents. Urban spaces were redesigned to encourage physical activity and mental well-being, with more parks, green spaces, and pedestrian-friendly environments. Public transportation systems were improved to reduce congestion, air pollution, and reliance on individual cars, which had long been contributors to environmental degradation and public health problems. One of the most profound areas where wellness and sustainability converged was in the global food system. As the world's population grew, so did the demand for food. But with industrial agriculture came increased environmental damage, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and excessive water use. On top of that, the food produced by these systems was often laden with chemicals, pesticides, and artificial additives, contributing to poor health outcomes worldwide. To address these issues, a new wave of agricultural reform emerged, one that prioritized both human and planetary health. The movement toward plant-based diets, which had been gaining traction for years, took on greater significance in this new era. People began to recognize that reducing meat consumption not only improved personal health but also helped protect the environment. Livestock farming was a major driver of greenhouse gas emissions, land degradation, and water consumption. By shifting toward plant-based diets, individuals could reduce their carbon footprint and support a more sustainable food system. In addition, the rise of sustainable farming practices, such as regenerative agriculture, began to transform the agricultural industry. Regenerative farming emphasized soil health, biodiversity, and ecosystem restoration, which had direct benefits for both the planet and the people who depended on it for food. These practices, combined with innovations in vertical farming, aquaponics, and lab-grown meats, began to address the food security challenges of the future, providing healthier, more sustainable options for feeding a growing global population. Governments and organizations worldwide began to implement policies that supported these changes. Subsidies were redirected from environmentally harmful agricultural practices to support sustainable farming. Schools, hospitals, and public institutions began to prioritize locally sourced, organic foods, reducing their reliance on processed, unhealthy options. Public health campaigns started to encourage plant-based eating, while also advocating for better access to nutritious food in underserved communities. Technology played a pivotal role in driving the intersection of wellness and sustainability. In particular, advancements in data science, AI, and biotechnology were key to creating solutions that supported both human health and environmental sustainability. AI-powered systems allowed for better management of resources, reducing waste and optimizing production processes. These technologies helped reduce the environmental impact of industries while also improving product quality and safety. In agriculture, AI-driven systems were used to monitor soil health, predict crop yields, and manage water resources more efficiently. These systems allowed farmers to reduce pesticide use, conserve water, and improve crop quality, benefiting both the environment and the health of consumers. Precision agriculture, which relied on data analytics to optimize every step of the farming process, became the standard for sustainable food production. In urban planning, smart cities began to emerge, where technology was used to optimize everything from energy consumption to waste management. Sensors monitored air quality, traffic patterns, and energy use, enabling cities to reduce their carbon footprints and improve the quality of life for their residents. In addition, AI-driven health apps became ubiquitous, providing individuals with personalized wellness recommendations based on their unique health data. These technologies encouraged people to make sustainable choices in their daily lives, whether it was reducing energy consumption or choosing plant-based foods. Musk's companies, particularly Tesla, SolarCity, and SpaceX, played a crucial role in this technological revolution. The innovations that Musk had championed for space exploration and electric vehicles were now being adapted for sustainability here on Earth. Tesla's electric cars and solar energy solutions were reshaping the energy landscape, while SpaceX's work in reusable rocket technology helped push forward the idea of sustainable innovation across all industries. As wellness and sustainability became more closely linked, international cooperation became even more critical. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and health crises were global challenges that could not be solved by any single nation alone. The future of wellness was increasingly seen as a collective effort, where countries worked together to promote global health and sustainability. Countries began to share best practices for sustainable development, from renewable energy adoption to public health programs focused on prevention. The Paris Agreement on Climate Change, which initially focused on reducing carbon emissions, now included wellness goals, ensuring that the fight against climate change also supported human health. Global partnerships were formed between governments, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and private companies, all working toward a common goal, a healthier, more sustainable planet. The wellness movement also spurred greater awareness of the links between environmental injustice and public health disparities. Low-income communities, particularly in the Global South, were disproportionately affected by pollution, poor sanitation, and limited access to healthcare. As governments and businesses embraced sustainability, they also worked to address these inequalities, ensuring that the benefits of wellness and environmental protection were accessible to all people, regardless of their socio-economic status. As the world continued to evolve under the influence of the wellness movement, it became clear that the changes weren't just fleeting trends, they were foundational shifts that would shape societies for generations to come. The rise of wellness had already transformed personal habits, industries, healthcare systems, economies, and global policies. Now, the question became, what kind of legacy would the wellness movement leave behind for future generations? For decades, wellness had been considered a luxury, something reserved for those who had the resources and time to invest in their health. But through the combined efforts of pioneers like Elon Musk, governments, and global citizens, wellness had become a universal priority. What was once seen as an individual choice was now a collective responsibility. As we looked toward the future, it was evident that the principles of wellness would continue to guide the evolution of human society. The wellness movement was beginning to reshape how young people were educated. With a new emphasis on mental and physical health, emotional intelligence, and life skills, schools and universities started integrating wellness into their curriculums. No longer were students just taught to excel academically, they were being taught how to manage stress, foster meaningful relationships, and maintain a balanced lifestyle. As wellness became a foundational part of education, future generations were better equipped to navigate life's challenges. It wasn't just about providing knowledge, it was about preparing individuals for a well-rounded life, where mental, emotional, and physical health were prioritized alongside academic success. Elon Musk's influence, particularly through his work with companies like Tesla and SpaceX, encouraged a new kind of thinking. He emphasized the importance of not just learning for the sake of learning, but learning to solve real-world problems. This philosophy extended beyond the sciences and into the realm of wellness. Future generations were being taught how to approach problems holistically, integrating environmental sustainability and personal health into their solutions. For young people growing up in this new era, the notion of wellness was woven into the fabric of their daily lives. They grew up with access to tools and resources that their parents never had. Wearable health technology, mental health apps, and AI-powered wellness coaches became commonplace, helping individuals track their physical and emotional well-being from a young age. Healthcare systems, now built on the foundation of prevention rather than treatment, ensured that the next generation wouldn't grow up facing the same chronic health crises that plagued older generations. Healthy eating, exercise, and mental well-being were incorporated into daily routines, and as a result, future generations were healthier and more resilient. But it wasn't just about individual health, it was about community well-being. As wellness continued to evolve, the focus shifted toward collective health. Children were raised with an understanding of their role in maintaining a healthy planet and society. Concepts of sustainability, empathy, and cooperation were ingrained in the education system, ensuring that future generations understood that their well-being was deeply connected to the health of others and the environment. This shift wasn't just about creating healthier individuals, it was about creating a more connected, compassionate society. As future generations became more aware of their impact on the world, they would grow into leaders who valued collaboration, sustainability, and well-being for all. Technology continued to play a crucial role in shaping the wellness landscape. As new innovations emerged, they not only improved individual health outcomes but also provided solutions to global challenges. For instance, advanced AI-driven medical technologies made it possible to diagnose diseases at their earliest stages, when treatment was most effective. Personalized wellness plans, powered by data and artificial intelligence, became accessible to individuals of all income levels, ensuring that everyone had the tools to live healthier lives. Furthermore, breakthroughs in biotechnology, such as gene editing and regenerative medicine, promised to eradicate certain diseases altogether. These advancements, combined with a global push for sustainability, meant that future generations would not only live longer but live better. The use of technology in wellness also extended to environmental health. Innovations in clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and waste management helped reduce humanity's carbon footprint while promoting a healthier planet. AI and big data were used to monitor and mitigate the effects of climate change, ensuring that future generations would inherit a world that was capable of sustaining both people and the planet. Elon Musk's companies were at the forefront of many of these innovations. Tesla's electric vehicles and solar energy solutions continued to revolutionize the way people lived, worked, and traveled. SpaceX, which had expanded its focus beyond space exploration, began developing technologies that could help address global environmental issues. Musk's forward-thinking approach to technology and sustainability ensured that the future would be shaped by a commitment to both human and environmental wellness. As the wellness revolution became a cornerstone of global culture, the concept of wellness extended beyond national borders. Countries, governments, and organizations around the world began to see wellness not as an isolated pursuit but as a collective responsibility. The health of one nation was inextricably linked to the health of the global community. In an interconnected world, addressing health disparities, climate change, and inequality became a shared goal. This global perspective was particularly important in addressing the wellness divide. While wealthier nations had made significant strides in adopting wellness-focused policies, lower-income countries still faced significant challenges. But the global wellness movement created a platform for collaboration. Developed nations began to invest in the wellness infrastructure of developing countries, providing access to clean water, sustainable agriculture, and healthcare. In exchange, countries with more resources shared their expertise in sustainable development, wellness technologies, and education. By creating a global wellness movement, the world was able to tackle the root causes of many public health issues, from poverty to environmental degradation. Through collaborative efforts, nations worked together to ensure that wellness was accessible to all, regardless of geographic location or socioeconomic status. The success of the wellness movement was not solely dependent on the actions of governments and corporations, it was also shaped by the leadership of individuals who championed the cause of global health. Elon Musk, for example, continued to use his platform to advocate for the integration of wellness principles into every aspect of society. His companies were built on the idea that technology could be used to solve global problems, and he consistently pushed the envelope on sustainable innovation. But Musk was not alone in his efforts. Other leaders, from tech entrepreneurs to activists, began to realize the importance of integrating wellness into their work. These leaders used their influence to promote policies that prioritized health and well-being, encouraging others to follow suit. In the coming decades, the next generation of leaders would be tasked with continuing this work. They would be expected to make decisions that prioritized both human and environmental health, ensuring that the wellness movement was sustained for generations to come. This new breed of leaders would not be focused solely on economic growth or political power, they would be driven by a commitment to global well-being, sustainability, and the future of the planet. The wellness movement had already radically altered the way people lived, worked, and interacted with the environment. But as society looked toward the future, it became clear that the next generation, the Gen Z and Generation Alpha, would take this torch and run with it. This group, born into a world where environmental concerns, personal well-being, and technology were deeply integrated into daily life, had a unique perspective on wellness. They had grown up not only seeing the effects of climate change and health crises but also experiencing the shift toward a more holistic, sustainable world. So, how would this next generation build on the progress made by those who came before them? What strategies would they use to accelerate the movement, ensuring that wellness was accessible to all people and sustainable for the long term? This chapter delves into how young people today are pushing the boundaries of wellness, using technology, activism, and innovation to create a better world for tomorrow. One of the most inspiring aspects of the wellness movement in recent years was the emergence of young leaders, activists, entrepreneurs, scientists, and educators, who were not just inheriting the changes but actively contributing to them. The next generation understood that the work of building a healthier world was far from over, and they weren't content to wait for others to drive the change. They were already leading the charge. From environmental activists like Greta Thunberg, who called for immediate climate action, to social entrepreneurs creating sustainable businesses, young leaders were pushing the envelope in all corners of the wellness world. These individuals were harnessing the power of social media, grassroots movements, and digital platforms to connect, collaborate, and inspire millions of others. For example, many young activists and social entrepreneurs have begun to advocate for wellness through equity. They recognize that true wellness cannot be achieved without addressing systemic inequalities. From the unequal distribution of healthcare to environmental injustice in underserved communities, young leaders were determined to ensure that the wellness movement reached all corners of the globe, particularly the most vulnerable populations. Their vision of wellness was not just about personal self-care but about collective action. They believed that in order to achieve global health, the interconnectedness of people, communities, and the planet had to be recognized and addressed. As a result, the wellness movement became a rallying cry for social justice, with youth advocating for everything from mental health awareness to sustainable food systems. Technology had played a pivotal role in the wellness revolution, and it was no surprise that the next generation, raised in the digital age, would take wellness to new heights with cutting-edge innovations. From apps that monitor physical and mental health to AI-driven health management tools, the future of wellness was undoubtedly tied to technological advancements. But it wasn't just about improving personal health, young people were thinking bigger. AI, blockchain, virtual reality, VR, and even genetic engineering were all being used in novel ways to promote health and sustainability. For example, some young entrepreneurs were developing biohacking tools that helped individuals optimize their physical performance, mental clarity, and overall well-being. These tools were not just about self-improvement but about creating scalable systems that could improve wellness on a larger, global scale. The integration of wellness technology into everyday life was becoming more seamless. Wearable health trackers like Fitbit and Apple Watch were just the beginning. New technologies, such as real-time health monitoring devices and AI-powered health assistants, were being designed to track not just physical activity but emotional health, sleep patterns, and even stress levels. These tools empowered individuals to make informed decisions about their health, while also fostering a deeper connection between personal well-being and global sustainability. Additionally, young innovators were leveraging technology to build more sustainable industries. They were finding ways to reduce waste, conserve water, and optimize energy use, all of which were essential to the broader wellness movement. For example, a new generation of food tech companies was developing plant-based, lab-grown, and sustainable food alternatives that could alleviate the environmental strain of traditional agriculture while improving global food security. In these ways, technology was no longer just a tool for convenience. It was a powerful ally in the fight for wellness, sustainability, and social change. Social media, often criticized for contributing to mental health struggles among young people, was also playing a pivotal role in advancing the wellness movement. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube became not only spaces for personal expression but for sharing wellness journeys and advocating for systemic change. A new wave of wellness influencers emerged, people who not only promoted fitness routines and healthy eating but also focused on mental health awareness, sustainability, and inclusivity. Social media allowed wellness advocates to share their stories and struggles in real time, creating a sense of community and solidarity. Young people were not only finding inspiration but were also becoming part of a global network of wellness warriors working to change the world. They shared tips on meditation, mindfulness practices, eco-friendly habits, and sustainable living, all with the goal of building a more interconnected, healthy world. Perhaps most importantly, social media gave young people the tools to advocate for policies and change on a global scale. From petitions calling for government action on climate change to viral campaigns promoting mental health resources, the power of social media activism was undeniable. As young people used these platforms to rally for wellness, they were also advocating for policies that promoted equity, mental health support, and access to sustainable food, clean air, and safe living environments. The next generation was not just advocating for sustainability in theory, they were living it. For many young people, sustainability wasn't just a concept discussed in classrooms or boardrooms, it was a way of life. They embraced zero-waste lifestyles, minimized their carbon footprints, and prioritized companies and products that aligned with their values of sustainability and wellness. The rise of conscious consumerism was led by young people who demanded transparency and accountability from the brands they supported. They were willing to pay a premium for products that were ethically produced, environmentally friendly, and contributed to their personal health and well-being. This trend had a profound impact on the market, forcing companies to rethink their practices and prioritize sustainability. But it wasn't just about what young people were buying, it was about how they were living. Urban farming, composting, and even the growing popularity of minimalism and tiny homes were all expressions of a larger cultural shift toward sustainable living. The next generation understood that every choice they made, from the food they ate to the way they traveled, had an impact on both their own health and the planet's health. The future of wellness was not just a continuation of trends from the past, it was being shaped by groundbreaking innovations that promised to radically transform how we approach health, sustainability, and well-being. As the world hurtled toward an era of even more technological advancements, the wellness landscape was becoming a vibrant fusion of science, technology, and human potential. In this chapter, we will explore the most exciting innovations that are pushing the boundaries of wellness, from biotechnology and healthcare to environmental science and sustainable living. These cutting-edge breakthroughs will define the next phase of the wellness movement, and in many ways, they are already paving the way for a new, healthier, and more sustainable future. One of the most profound shifts in wellness in the coming years will be the move toward personalized, data-driven health solutions. As technology advances, the ability to tailor health interventions to the individual, based on genetics, lifestyle, and environmental factors, has become increasingly possible. This paradigm shift will mark a departure from the one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and wellness, and it is likely to be one of the most transformative trends in the wellness space. Personalized wellness is already beginning to take shape through wearable devices, health apps, and genetic testing. Companies like 23andMe and Ancestry.com are leading the way in offering genetic testing services that provide individuals with insights into their DNA, helping them make more informed decisions about their health. By understanding genetic predispositions to certain diseases or conditions, people can adopt proactive lifestyle changes to prevent illness before it starts. Wearables, such as the Apple Watch, Fitbit, and Whoop, have also made significant strides in tracking everything from heart rate variability to sleep patterns, offering users real-time feedback on their health. These devices provide valuable data that can be analyzed to create customized health plans, making wellness interventions more precise and effective. For instance, a wearable could track your stress levels and recommend specific relaxation techniques, or suggest dietary changes based on your blood glucose levels. The next frontier of personalized wellness lies in the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it will be able to analyze vast amounts of data, everything from your genetic makeup to your daily habits, and provide personalized recommendations in real time. Imagine having an AI-powered health coach that can adjust your wellness plan on the fly, based on your current stress levels, sleep quality, and even emotional state. This shift toward personalized wellness has profound implications for disease prevention and management. For example, AI could help detect the earliest signs of chronic diseases like diabetes or cardiovascular disease, allowing for earlier, more effective interventions. As personalized wellness becomes more accessible, it will empower individuals to take greater control over their health, ensuring that wellness is not just about feeling good today but about preventing health issues tomorrow. Biotechnology is another area where innovations are poised to revolutionize wellness. Advances in gene editing, stem cell research, and regenerative medicine are already making waves in the medical world, offering the potential to not only treat diseases but also to prevent or even reverse them. CRISPR, a groundbreaking gene editing technology, is one of the most exciting tools in the biotechnology field. By enabling scientists to precisely edit genes, CRISPR has the potential to correct genetic mutations that cause diseases like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, and even certain cancers. This could pave the way for gene therapies that not only treat but also eliminate genetic disorders at their root cause. Stem cell research is another area where rapid progress is being made. Stem cells have the ability to develop into any type of cell in the body, which makes them an incredibly powerful tool for regenerative medicine. Scientists are already exploring the use of stem cells to repair damaged tissues and organs, potentially leading to treatments for conditions like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and spinal cord injuries. This could lead to a future where aging is slowed or even reversed, and people live longer, healthier lives with fewer chronic conditions. In addition to gene editing and stem cell therapies, regenerative medicine is also advancing through tissue engineering and organ regeneration. Scientists are working on growing organs from a person's own cells, reducing the need for organ transplants and the risk of rejection. These innovations could drastically reduce the wait times for organ donors, save countless lives, and offer a new era of healthcare where organ failure is no longer a death sentence. As biotechnology continues to advance, the potential for revolutionary treatments in healthcare is limitless. The wellness movement will increasingly incorporate cutting-edge medical technologies that not only promote health but also enable the regeneration and restoration of the body at a cellular level. As wellness becomes more closely intertwined with sustainability, it's clear that the health of our planet is intrinsically linked to the health of its inhabitants. Climate change, environmental degradation, and pollution have long been recognized as global health crises, and the wellness movement is taking an active role in addressing these issues. Innovative technologies and practices in sustainability are driving this change. Solar energy, wind power, and other renewable energy sources are becoming more affordable and efficient, allowing individuals and businesses to reduce their carbon footprints and promote environmental wellness. The rise of electric vehicles, EVs, is helping to decrease air pollution, improve urban air quality, and reduce the harmful effects of fossil fuels on human health. One particularly exciting area of innovation in sustainability is in the field of food production. As the global population continues to grow, there is increasing pressure on traditional agricultural systems to provide enough food without causing environmental harm. Vertical farming, hydroponics, and aquaponics are revolutionizing how we grow food, enabling cities to produce fresh, nutritious food with minimal environmental impact. These methods use far less water and land compared to conventional farming, and they drastically reduce the need for pesticides and fertilizers. Another breakthrough in sustainable wellness is the development of lab-grown meat, which is poised to transform the food industry. By growing meat in a laboratory setting rather than raising and slaughtering animals, scientists can significantly reduce the environmental impact of meat production, including the massive water and land use required by traditional agriculture. Lab-grown meat could be the answer to feeding the world's growing population while also promoting animal welfare and reducing our carbon footprint. As these sustainable technologies continue to evolve, the future of wellness will increasingly be about balancing human health with the health of the planet. The movement toward eco-friendly, sustainable living will allow future generations to live healthier lives while ensuring that the Earth remains a livable, thriving environment. While physical health remains a critical component of the wellness movement, there has been a growing recognition of the importance of mental and emotional well-being. As the wellness revolution continues, mental health is becoming just as important as physical health, and innovations in this field are beginning to take shape. One of the most significant advancements in mental health care is the rise of digital mental health tools. Apps like Headspace and Calm have become increasingly popular, offering guided meditation, mindfulness exercises, and stress reduction techniques. These apps have made mental health care more accessible than ever before, allowing individuals to take proactive steps to manage stress, anxiety, and depression. In addition to digital tools, virtual therapy and telemedicine are revolutionizing mental health care. Individuals no longer need to travel to a therapist's office, they can access mental health professionals from the comfort of their own homes. This makes therapy more accessible to people in rural or underserved areas and reduces the stigma surrounding mental health by making it easier for individuals to seek help. Furthermore, the integration of mental health care into the workplace and education systems is becoming more common. Companies are increasingly offering mental health resources to employees, recognizing that a healthy workforce is a productive workforce. Schools are also beginning to offer mental health support services, ensuring that children and young adults have access to the tools they need to cope with stress, anxiety, and emotional challenges. As the wellness revolution continues to evolve, the next challenge is not just about innovation and technological advancements, it's about ensuring that the benefits of wellness are accessible to everyone, regardless of their background, location, or socioeconomic status. While some may be fortunate enough to enjoy the latest in health technologies, eco-friendly products, and personalized wellness plans, there are still many individuals and communities that face significant barriers to achieving the same level of well-being. This chapter delves into the critical issue of access and equity in wellness. It examines the social, economic, and geographic obstacles that prevent certain populations from benefiting from the wellness movement and highlights the efforts being made to break down these barriers. By exploring the role of policy, community initiatives, and global partnerships, we will discover how we can create a future where wellness is not a privilege, but a right for all. Wellness has often been perceived as a luxury, something that can only be attained by those who have the financial means to afford gym memberships, organic food, private healthcare, and wellness technology. But this view of wellness is exclusive and leaves out millions of people who lack access to these resources. The reality is that wellness inequity is a serious issue that needs to be addressed if we are to build a truly inclusive movement. Economic barriers are one of the most significant challenges. Healthy food, for example, can be expensive, and many communities in lower-income areas struggle to access nutritious food. The cost of organic produce and sustainably sourced items is often out of reach for those with limited budgets, and fast food, which tends to be cheaper but nutritionally poor, remains the more accessible option for many families. Additionally, the availability of wellness products like fitness equipment, wearable health trackers, and mental health apps is often reserved for the affluent, making it harder for underserved communities to benefit from the latest wellness innovations. Geography also plays a crucial role in wellness access. Many rural areas, for instance, lack fitness centers, healthy food markets, and mental health professionals. Urban areas, on the other hand, tend to have better infrastructure for wellness, such as gyms, wellness cafes, and accessible public transportation for walking or cycling, but even in cities, lower-income neighborhoods often lack these services. Moreover, many healthcare systems, particularly in developing countries, struggle to provide adequate care or preventive services, leaving entire populations vulnerable to preventable diseases and poor health outcomes. Cultural and social factors further complicate the issue of wellness access. In some communities, traditional beliefs or stigmas surrounding mental health can prevent individuals from seeking the care they need. For example, in certain cultures, mental health issues are often seen as a taboo subject, leading to a lack of open discussions or support systems. Similarly, in marginalized communities, a history of systemic oppression and discrimination has created barriers to accessing healthcare, wellness services, and resources. To address these disparities, it is essential that policymakers, health organizations, and advocates come together to prioritize wellness for all. Government interventions can play a critical role in creating policies that promote health equity, reduce economic disparities, and ensure that wellness resources are distributed fairly across society. One of the most effective ways to address wellness inequity is through public health initiatives. Governments can fund programs that provide free or low-cost access to healthy food, exercise facilities, and mental health services. For instance, some cities have already begun to implement food deserts programs, which bring affordable, fresh produce to underserved areas by creating urban farms or partnering with local farmers markets. These initiatives not only improve access to healthy food but also help stimulate local economies and encourage sustainable food production. Public health campaigns that raise awareness about the importance of mental health and emotional well-being are also vital. Governments and nonprofit organizations can collaborate to create more accessible mental health resources, such as hotlines, online therapy options, and community support groups, particularly for those living in rural or isolated communities. Additionally, expanding access to affordable healthcare services through universal healthcare policies can ensure that all individuals have access to preventive care, medical treatment, and wellness programs. Beyond healthcare policy, environmental regulations that promote clean air, water, and green spaces can also contribute to wellness equity. Ensuring that all communities, regardless of income level, have access to clean environments, safe streets, and recreational areas can go a long way in fostering physical and mental well-being. Advocacy and grassroots movements also have an important role to play in shifting societal attitudes and policies toward wellness equity. Nonprofit organizations and activists are working tirelessly to address the gaps in wellness access by raising awareness, lobbying for systemic changes, and partnering with communities to implement localized solutions. While policy and advocacy are essential for addressing large-scale wellness inequity, community-based initiatives are equally important. These initiatives allow local leaders and organizations to implement targeted, grassroots solutions that directly address the needs of specific populations. In many areas, local nonprofits and grassroots organizations are stepping up to fill the gaps left by larger systems. These community-driven efforts often focus on providing wellness resources, education, and support where it is most needed. For example, community health clinics and mobile health units are bringing healthcare services directly to underserved areas, while local fitness programs are offering free or low-cost exercise classes in public parks or community centers. Social enterprises and cooperatives are also emerging as powerful tools for promoting wellness equity. These businesses are often driven by social missions and aim to create positive change in their communities. A growing number of wellness companies are integrating social impact into their business models, ensuring that their products or services are accessible to low-income communities. For instance, some fitness companies offer sliding-scale membership fees, while health food brands partner with nonprofits to distribute their products to food-insecure populations. In addition to these localized efforts, schools and universities are also playing a crucial role in promoting wellness equity. Educational institutions are increasingly offering wellness programs that focus on physical, emotional, and social well-being, and many are working to integrate mental health support into their curricula. By equipping young people with the tools they need to maintain good health, these programs can help prevent future health disparities and foster a culture of wellness that transcends socioeconomic and cultural boundaries. Technology has the potential to be a great equalizer in the wellness movement. Digital tools, mobile apps, and online platforms can overcome geographic and financial barriers, making wellness more accessible to a wider audience. One example of how technology is bridging the wellness gap is the growing number of telemedicine and teletherapy services. These platforms allow individuals to access healthcare providers and mental health professionals without leaving their homes. This is particularly valuable for people in rural or remote areas who may not have easy access to medical or mental health care providers. Additionally, fitness apps, virtual wellness coaching, and nutrition tracking tools are becoming increasingly affordable, making it easier for individuals to monitor their health and well-being from the comfort of their own homes. For those who can't afford a gym membership or personal trainer, apps like MyFitnessPal, Peloton, which offers virtual fitness classes, and Headspace, for mental health, can provide affordable alternatives that democratize wellness. One exciting area of technological innovation is in the realm of community wellness networks. Platforms that connect individuals to local wellness events, free fitness classes, or group therapy sessions are making it easier for people to access resources without the financial burden of paying for services. These platforms are also helping to build social connections and foster a sense of belonging within communities, which is critical for emotional well-being. As the wellness revolution gains momentum, it is clear that the movement cannot be contained within national borders. The globalized nature of the world today means that the issues surrounding health, wellness, and sustainability are shared across countries and cultures. What happens in one part of the world can have far-reaching consequences elsewhere, and as the world becomes increasingly interconnected, so too must our approach to wellness. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of global partnerships and collaborations in advancing wellness on a global scale. From international organizations and grassroots movements to cross-border innovations in healthcare and sustainability, we will examine how the wellness revolution is transcending national boundaries and uniting people worldwide in the pursuit of health, well-being, and environmental sustainability. As the world faces challenges such as climate change, rising healthcare costs, and the global rise in chronic diseases, no country or community can afford to address these issues in isolation. To tackle these interconnected problems, global cooperation is not just desirable, it is essential. One of the major benefits of global partnerships in wellness is the opportunity to share knowledge, resources, and innovations across borders. For instance, countries that have made significant progress in addressing public health challenges, like universal healthcare or access to clean water, can offer valuable lessons to others. Similarly, global research collaborations allow scientists and healthcare professionals to share findings and work together to develop new treatments, therapies, and wellness solutions. The World Health Organization, WHO, for example, has played a vital role in coordinating global health initiatives, from vaccination campaigns to mental health awareness programs. By providing technical assistance, funding, and policy guidance, the WHO and other international organizations help ensure that health and wellness improvements reach people across the globe, particularly in underdeveloped and underserved regions. But global partnerships aren't just limited to governments and large organizations. International collaborations between private companies, nonprofits, and local communities are proving to be equally effective in advancing wellness. Companies with a global footprint, such as pharmaceutical giants or tech companies, have the resources and influence to drive health innovations on a massive scale, while local nonprofits can ensure that these innovations are implemented effectively at the community level. Sustainability is at the heart of global wellness, and the need for sustainable living practices has never been more urgent. Climate change, pollution, and the depletion of natural resources are global issues that threaten the health and well-being of people everywhere. To ensure that the wellness movement is truly future-proof, it must embrace sustainability in every aspect of life, from energy production and food systems to transportation and waste management. One of the most powerful examples of global collaboration for sustainability is the Paris Agreement, which brought together nearly every country in the world to combat climate change. While the agreement focuses primarily on reducing greenhouse gas emissions, it also emphasizes the importance of climate adaptation and resilience, including addressing the health impacts of climate change. Extreme weather events, rising temperatures, and environmental degradation can all have direct effects on human health, exacerbating conditions like asthma, heart disease, and infectious diseases. By working together to combat climate change, countries are not only protecting the planet but also improving public health outcomes. Another global initiative making a significant impact on wellness is the movement toward clean energy. Solar, wind, and other renewable energy sources are critical to reducing the harmful effects of fossil fuels, which contribute to air pollution and climate change. Several countries are leading the way in transitioning to cleaner energy systems, and as more nations adopt these technologies, they will reduce the harmful health impacts associated with energy production. Moreover, the development of clean energy technologies also has the potential to create jobs, stimulate local economies, and improve energy access in underdeveloped regions, making energy more affordable and accessible to people everywhere. The global push for sustainability is also being reflected in efforts to create circular economies, systems that minimize waste, maximize resource use, and promote sustainability. Companies around the world are rethinking how they produce goods, embracing practices like recycling, upcycling, and using biodegradable materials. Sustainable fashion, zero-waste lifestyles, and sustainable agriculture are becoming integral parts of the wellness movement, contributing to both personal health and environmental well-being. Another critical area of global collaboration is healthcare, where innovations are helping to address some of the most pressing challenges facing populations worldwide. While access to healthcare remains a major issue in many parts of the world, technological innovations are beginning to level the playing field and offer new solutions for delivering care in underserved areas. Telemedicine is one such innovation that is transforming global healthcare delivery. In rural and remote regions, where access to healthcare facilities is limited, telemedicine allows patients to consult with doctors and healthcare professionals via video calls, online consultations, and remote monitoring tools. This technology has the potential to reach millions of people who would otherwise have no access to medical care, reducing health disparities and improving outcomes. Additionally, global healthcare organizations are leveraging technology to improve the quality and accessibility of healthcare services. For instance, digital health platforms and apps are helping people manage chronic conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and mental health issues. These platforms allow individuals to track their health data, access virtual consultations, and receive personalized health recommendations, all from the convenience of their smartphones. International collaborations are also helping to develop vaccines, treatments, and health technologies that can be distributed worldwide. The global response to the COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated the power of international partnerships in addressing health crises, with researchers, healthcare workers, and governments coming together to develop and distribute vaccines in record time. This type of collaboration will continue to be essential as we face other health challenges, such as antimicrobial resistance, non-communicable diseases, and the rise of new infectious diseases. In addition to technological innovations and global health partnerships, cultural exchange plays a vital role in promoting global wellness. As people around the world share their wellness practices and traditions, they enrich the global conversation about health and well-being. Traditional medicine, alternative healing practices, and spiritual wellness approaches from various cultures are increasingly being integrated into modern wellness practices, offering diverse and holistic approaches to health. For example, practices like yoga, meditation, acupuncture, and Ayurvedic medicine have long been embraced in Asia and are now widely practiced around the world. These practices emphasize mental clarity, relaxation, and balance, providing a complementary approach to the more physical aspects of wellness. Similarly, indigenous healing traditions, which often focus on the interconnectedness of people, nature, and spirituality, are gaining recognition for their contributions to holistic health. By sharing and learning from one another's traditions, cultures can create a more inclusive and well-rounded global wellness movement. This exchange of wisdom fosters mutual respect, breaks down cultural barriers, and encourages collaboration in ways that benefit people from all walks of life. While global partnerships hold great promise for advancing wellness, challenges remain. One of the most significant barriers to global wellness is the deep divide between rich and poor nations. The wealthiest countries have access to cutting-edge technologies, advanced healthcare systems, and the resources to support their population's wellness needs. In contrast, many developing countries lack basic healthcare infrastructure, struggle with infectious diseases, and face significant environmental challenges. To overcome these divides, it is essential that wealthier nations share resources and knowledge with developing countries. Aid programs, technology transfer, and knowledge sharing are all critical components of global wellness efforts. By building partnerships that prioritize the needs of underserved populations, we can create a more equitable wellness movement that benefits everyone, regardless of their geographic location or economic status. Another challenge is the political and cultural resistance that can arise when implementing global wellness initiatives. Different countries and regions have varying approaches to healthcare, wellness, and sustainability, and finding common ground can sometimes be difficult. However, as the global wellness movement continues to grow, these challenges can be overcome through collaboration, dialogue, and a shared commitment to improving the health of people and the planet. The global wellness movement has evolved far beyond a trend or a luxury reserved for the few. It is now a driving force that impacts how we live, work, and interact with each other and the environment. As we continue to expand our understanding of what wellness means, it becomes clear that the concept is deeply interconnected with all aspects of our lives: physical, mental, emotional, and environmental. Building a wellness culture is not just about creating better practices for individuals, but about fostering a global mindset that values well-being as the cornerstone of human flourishing. In this chapter, we will explore how we can cultivate a global wellness culture, one that emphasizes holistic well-being for all people, regardless of background, resources, or location. We will delve into the importance of self-care, community building, and sustainable living in creating a wellness culture that transcends borders and unites humanity in a shared pursuit of health, happiness, and sustainability. A global wellness culture is one where well-being is seen as a shared responsibility, a collective goal that requires the participation and commitment of individuals, communities, businesses, and governments. It is a culture that not only emphasizes personal health but also the health of the planet, recognizing that the two are inseparable. In this culture, the focus is not on individual success alone but on how people can work together to create positive impacts on each other and the environment. In a wellness-driven society, individuals understand the importance of balanced living. They embrace practices that nurture both body and mind, whether it's through physical exercise, mindfulness meditation, healthy eating, or creative expression. But more importantly, they are encouraged to care for themselves in ways that honor their unique needs, strengths, and challenges. Self-care becomes a daily practice, and seeking support, whether through mental health services, community involvement, or professional guidance, is normalized and celebrated. A global wellness culture also fosters a sense of interconnectedness. It teaches that the health of one person is linked to the health of others, and the well-being of humans is directly connected to the well-being of the planet. In this culture, sustainability is an essential component. From adopting eco-friendly habits in our homes to advocating for clean energy solutions and supporting companies that prioritize ethical production, every action we take is seen as a step toward a healthier future for all. While wellness is a collective endeavor, it starts with the individual. Personal wellness is the foundation upon which the global wellness culture is built. When individuals prioritize their own well-being, they are not only enhancing their own lives but also contributing to the overall well-being of the world. Personal wellness is a dynamic, ongoing process that encompasses physical health, mental clarity, emotional resilience, and social connection. Individuals are encouraged to adopt a holistic approach to health, addressing all aspects of their lives with intention and care. Whether it's through regular exercise to strengthen the body, mindfulness practices to clear the mind, or cultivating healthy relationships to nourish the soul, personal wellness is about aligning our behaviors, beliefs, and actions with our highest values. The beauty of personal wellness lies in its diversity. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to well-being. Each person's journey is unique, shaped by their experiences, environment, and preferences. However, a global wellness culture recognizes and supports this individuality, encouraging people to find their own path to health and happiness. This openness allows for a greater understanding of the different ways wellness can be practiced, from yoga and meditation to hiking, cooking, and spending time with loved ones. In a global wellness culture, communities play an integral role in supporting individual well-being. Wellness isn't just a personal pursuit, it thrives in environments where people are empowered to care for one another, work together, and build healthy, resilient relationships. Strong communities create the foundation for widespread wellness by offering resources, support systems, and opportunities for connection. One of the most effective ways to build community around wellness is through shared experiences. Group activities, whether they're fitness classes, mental health support groups, community gardening projects, or wellness retreats, foster a sense of belonging and provide people with opportunities to learn, grow, and heal together. These shared experiences create bonds between individuals, reduce feelings of isolation, and encourage collaboration and mutual support. Wellness also becomes a community-wide value when people work together to make health and well-being accessible to all. Local organizations, businesses, and governments can partner to provide resources like affordable fitness classes, healthy food programs, and mental health initiatives that benefit everyone in the community, regardless of their income or background. When these initiatives are embraced by society, they help to level the playing field, ensuring that wellness is not just a privilege for the few but a right for all. The health of the planet is inextricably linked to the health of its inhabitants. To cultivate a global wellness culture, it is essential that we embrace sustainability in every aspect of our lives. From reducing waste and conserving resources to supporting environmentally conscious businesses and adopting renewable energy solutions, sustainable living is a cornerstone of global wellness. Sustainability in wellness is not just about individual actions. It's about creating systems that support long-term well-being. For example, urban planning that incorporates green spaces, pedestrian-friendly streets, and bike lanes promotes physical activity and mental health while reducing pollution. Sustainable agriculture practices, like organic farming and regenerative agriculture, protect the environment while ensuring access to nutritious food. Individuals can also make a difference by adopting more sustainable habits in their everyday lives. This includes reducing consumption, buying locally produced goods, recycling, and choosing eco-friendly products. In addition to these actions, people can support companies and organizations that prioritize sustainability and corporate social responsibility, ensuring that their purchasing decisions align with their values. By prioritizing sustainability, we not only protect the planet for future generations but also improve our quality of life. The cleaner the environment, the healthier the air, the fresher the water, and the more vibrant the ecosystems, the better it is for human health. A global wellness culture understands that we cannot be healthy in a dying world, and that by investing in the planet's well-being, we are also investing in our own. In today's digital age, technology plays an increasingly important role in the wellness movement. From fitness apps and online therapy platforms to wearable devices and virtual wellness communities, technology is helping people track their health, connect with experts, and find wellness resources that are otherwise difficult to access. One of the most significant contributions of technology to global wellness is the democratization of health information. With the click of a button, people can access a wealth of resources on nutrition, exercise, mental health, and more. Social media platforms allow wellness influencers, health experts, and individuals to share tips, experiences, and advice, creating a sense of global community around the idea of well-being. Technology also facilitates wellness in ways that are environmentally friendly. Virtual fitness classes and digital health consultations reduce the need for transportation, minimizing carbon footprints while still providing people with the opportunity to take care of their health. Moreover, telemedicine and teletherapy are breaking down geographical and financial barriers, ensuring that people in remote or underserved regions have access to medical and mental health care. While technology is not a panacea for all wellness challenges, it has the potential to play a key role in making wellness more accessible, inclusive, and sustainable. However, as we embrace technology, we must also remain mindful of its potential downsides, such as over-reliance on screens or the commodification of wellness. Technology should be seen as a tool to support, not replace, the human connections and experiences that are essential for holistic well-being. As we look to the future, it is clear that cultivating a global wellness culture is an ongoing journey. It requires the active participation of individuals, communities, governments, and organizations. Together, we must prioritize well-being in every aspect of our lives, personal, social, and environmental, and work to create systems that promote health, happiness, and sustainability for all. Each of us has a role to play in this movement. By embracing self-care, supporting our communities, making sustainable choices, and advocating for wellness policies, we contribute to the creation of a world where wellness is not a luxury but a universal right. The global wellness movement is not just about living longer, it's about living better, in harmony with ourselves, each other, and the planet. As the global wellness movement continues to gain traction, it's clear that well-being extends beyond our personal lives. Workplaces, which have historically been environments that focus primarily on productivity and results, are now being redefined to include employee wellness as a central priority. The link between employee health, happiness, and productivity is undeniable. When employees are well, they perform better, experience less burnout, and contribute to a more positive and engaged work culture. In recent years, wellness in the workplace has shifted from a fringe idea to a central component of organizational culture. Many businesses, especially those in progressive industries, are incorporating wellness programs into their daily operations, providing employees with resources and support that extend beyond traditional benefits like healthcare and paid time off. The concept of wellness in the workplace goes far beyond just offering gym memberships or occasional wellness seminars. It is about fostering a work environment that prioritizes the mental, emotional, and physical health of its employees. A growing number of companies are introducing holistic wellness programs that cover everything from physical fitness and nutrition to mental health, stress reduction, and work-life balance. For example, some companies now offer mindfulness and meditation sessions, yoga classes, or mental health days to help employees decompress. Flexible work schedules, remote work options, and reduced work hours are also becoming increasingly popular, as they allow employees to better manage their time and balance their personal and professional lives. By creating a culture of wellness, businesses are recognizing that a happy, healthy workforce is not only more productive but also more creative, loyal, and resilient. The benefits of prioritizing wellness in the workplace are wide-reaching. For employees, a focus on wellness can reduce stress, improve job satisfaction, and foster a sense of community within the company. Employees who feel supported in their physical and mental health are more likely to stay engaged and motivated, leading to better performance and reduced turnover rates. Mental health is a particularly crucial area that is being addressed through wellness programs. Companies are increasingly offering mental health resources, including access to therapists, counseling services, and stress management workshops. Given the growing recognition of mental health as an integral part of overall wellness, these programs are vital in helping employees navigate the pressures of their personal and professional lives. Research shows that employees who are supported in their mental health are more likely to stay with a company long-term, contribute to a positive work environment, and be more productive. On the flip side, companies that neglect employee well-being often face increased absenteeism, reduced morale, and higher healthcare costs due to stress-related illnesses and mental health issues. Flexibility is one of the most sought-after elements of a wellness-oriented workplace. The traditional 9-to-5 office-based workday is rapidly becoming outdated, especially as more people recognize the benefits of remote work, flexible schedules, and job-sharing options. Companies that offer flexible work environments allow employees to work when and where they are most productive, which can greatly reduce stress and enhance overall well-being. Flexible work policies can help employees manage personal obligations, such as childcare, caregiving, or educational pursuits, without sacrificing their professional commitments. Additionally, flexibility in work hours enables employees to take care of their physical and mental health, whether it's by going to the gym, practicing yoga, attending therapy, or simply getting enough rest. By supporting work-life balance, companies send the message that they value their employees as whole individuals, not just as workers. In addition to flexible hours, remote work options allow employees to work from the comfort of their homes, eliminating long commutes and the stress associated with daily travel. Remote work also enables companies to tap into a global talent pool, providing employees with more opportunities to balance their personal lives while still making a meaningful contribution to the company. Physical wellness is an important aspect of workplace wellness programs. Companies are increasingly investing in programs and resources that encourage employees to stay active, eat healthy, and maintain overall physical health. On-site fitness centers, gym memberships, and fitness classes are just a few examples of how companies are promoting physical well-being. Many workplaces are also offering nutrition workshops, healthy meal options in cafeterias, or snack stations stocked with wholesome foods. Regular physical activity is a proven way to reduce stress, improve mood, and boost energy levels, all of which contribute to better work performance. Exercise has been shown to increase focus, creativity, and cognitive function, making employees more productive and engaged. By offering employees access to fitness resources, companies are not only helping them stay healthy but also ensuring that they can perform at their best. In addition to fitness programs, organizations are increasingly aware of the importance of proper ergonomics in the workplace. Many companies are now providing adjustable desks, ergonomic chairs, and standing workstations to promote better posture and reduce the risk of physical strain. A healthy workplace isn't just about what employees do outside of work, it's also about making the physical environment conducive to well-being during working hours. Mental health has become a central focus of workplace wellness. With rising levels of stress, anxiety, and burnout among employees, organizations are investing in mental health resources to support their workforce. Employee assistance programs, EAPs, counseling services, and mental health workshops are becoming standard offerings in many workplaces. Additionally, some companies provide employees with paid mental health days or mental health breaks to encourage self-care and prevent burnout. Creating an open dialogue around mental health is critical for reducing stigma and ensuring that employees feel comfortable seeking help. Mental health awareness training for managers and HR personnel is also essential, as it equips them with the tools to support employees who may be struggling with stress, anxiety, or depression. Stress management programs are a key component of many wellness initiatives. Offering employees strategies for managing stress, such as mindfulness, meditation, time management techniques, or relaxation exercises, can help reduce the negative impact of workplace pressures. When employees are equipped with the skills to cope with stress, they are more resilient, focused, and better able to handle challenges both at work and in their personal lives. A wellness-driven workplace is one where the entire company culture is centered around the well-being of its employees. From leadership to entry-level workers, the commitment to wellness must be ingrained at every level of the organization. Leaders who model healthy behaviors and prioritize employee well-being set a powerful example for the rest of the workforce. Creating a culture of health and support requires clear communication, ongoing education, and active participation. Companies must actively encourage employees to take time off when needed, seek help for mental health concerns, and engage in wellness practices that improve their quality of life. It's about fostering an environment where wellness is a shared value and priority. In this culture, employees feel supported, valued, and empowered to take care of themselves. They are encouraged to engage in practices that enhance their physical and mental health, knowing that the company has their best interests at heart. As a result, employee satisfaction increases, turnover decreases, and overall productivity improves. As we look to the future, workplace wellness will continue to evolve. The increasing recognition of the link between well-being and productivity means that companies will keep investing in their employees' health and happiness. The future of workplace wellness will likely see a stronger focus on mental health, greater flexibility in work schedules, more personalized wellness programs, and a deeper commitment to sustainability. As the global wellness movement expands, workplace wellness will remain a central pillar of the overall wellness culture. By continuing to prioritize the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of employees, businesses will not only create a healthier workforce but also contribute to the larger global effort to build a more sustainable and well-balanced world. As we continue to witness the transformative impact of the wellness movement in various sectors, one of the most crucial areas to focus on is education. Building a culture of wellness from an early age not only sets the foundation for individual health but also empowers young people to become the future leaders, advocates, and changemakers who will drive the global wellness revolution forward. By integrating wellness education into schools, colleges, and universities, we can cultivate a generation of individuals who not only prioritize their own well-being but also actively work to create healthier, more sustainable communities. In this final chapter, we will explore how wellness education is shaping the next generation of leaders. We will examine the importance of teaching wellness concepts in schools, the role of mental health education, the integration of physical activity and nutrition in curriculums, and the long-term benefits of empowering young people with the tools they need to thrive both personally and professionally. In many parts of the world, traditional education systems have focused heavily on academic achievement, leaving little room for the development of emotional, physical, and mental well-being. However, as the understanding of wellness has evolved, educators, policymakers, and advocates have recognized the need to incorporate wellness into the curriculum. Wellness education provides students with the knowledge, skills, and resources they need to take care of their bodies, minds, and relationships, which in turn enables them to succeed in all aspects of life. The integration of wellness education into schools is more than just a matter of teaching kids how to eat well or exercise. It's about developing emotional intelligence, stress management skills, and a sense of social responsibility. A wellness-centered education helps students understand the importance of self-care, build resilience, and foster empathy for others. It also emphasizes the need to care for the environment and promote sustainability as essential elements of overall health. One of the core benefits of wellness education is that it prepares students to navigate the challenges of the modern world. With increasing rates of mental health challenges, social isolation, and environmental degradation, young people need a solid foundation in wellness practices to help them manage stress, maintain healthy relationships, and take care of their physical and mental health. By embedding wellness into education from the beginning, we are setting students up for success in life, not just in their careers, but in their overall quality of life. One of the key pillars of wellness education is mental health awareness. In recent years, there has been a growing recognition of the importance of mental health, particularly in young people. With rising levels of anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges among adolescents, mental health education is now seen as a critical component of wellness curricula. Teaching students about mental health and wellness helps to normalize conversations around mental illness and reduces stigma. By providing students with a safe space to discuss their feelings, learn coping strategies, and understand the importance of seeking help when needed, schools can play a vital role in creating a supportive environment for mental well-being. Mental health education equips students with the tools to recognize and manage stress, anxiety, and other emotional challenges. It also helps them develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity and handle difficult situations in a healthy way. Teaching students how to identify their emotions, practice mindfulness, and implement stress-reducing techniques such as deep breathing or meditation can improve their emotional regulation and overall well-being. By addressing mental health in schools, we also create a generation of young people who are more likely to seek help when needed, whether it's through therapy, counseling, or peer support. Mental health education promotes self-awareness and self-compassion, empowering students to take an active role in their mental well-being and seek the resources they need to thrive. In addition to mental health education, physical activity and nutrition play a crucial role in wellness education. As childhood obesity rates rise and sedentary lifestyles become more common, it's essential to teach young people the importance of regular exercise and healthy eating habits. Incorporating physical education, PE. Classes, sports programs, and fitness initiatives into school curriculums help students develop lifelong habits that promote physical health. Physical activity not only improves cardiovascular health, strength, and flexibility, but it also boosts mood, reduces stress, and enhances cognitive function. Encouraging students to engage in regular exercise from a young age sets them up for a lifetime of health and wellness. Nutrition education is equally important in shaping healthy habits. Teaching students about the importance of balanced diets, portion control, and the impact of food on their energy levels and overall health helps them make informed choices about what they eat. Schools can provide healthy meals and snacks, offer cooking classes, and educate students about the benefits of whole foods and the risks of processed, sugary foods. In addition to fostering better physical health, incorporating physical activity and nutrition into the curriculum also supports academic achievement. Studies have shown that students who are physically active perform better academically, have improved concentration, and experience fewer behavioral problems. When students learn how to take care of their bodies, they are better equipped to excel in their studies and engage with the world around them. A key element of wellness education is the focus on social well-being. Teaching students about healthy relationships, empathy, conflict resolution, and communication skills is essential in helping them navigate the complex social dynamics of their communities. Social wellness emphasizes the importance of connection, support, and belonging, all of which are fundamental to a fulfilling and healthy life. Schools can promote social wellness by fostering inclusive environments where all students feel valued, respected, and supported. Programs that encourage teamwork, peer mentorship, and community service can help students build strong, supportive relationships with their peers and develop a sense of social responsibility. By learning how to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts peacefully, and support each other, students can contribute to creating a positive and inclusive culture both within and outside of the school. Additionally, wellness education should teach students about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. By developing empathy and understanding for people from different backgrounds, students can build stronger communities and become advocates for social justice and equity. In a world where social isolation and discrimination are pressing issues, fostering social wellness in schools helps to create environments where everyone can thrive. While schools play a vital role in promoting wellness education, the involvement of parents, educators, and communities is equally important. Parents can reinforce the lessons taught in schools by modeling healthy behaviors at home, encouraging open communication about mental health, and providing emotional support. Educators can collaborate with parents and community organizations to create a holistic approach to wellness that extends beyond the classroom. Communities also play a key role in supporting wellness education. Local organizations, businesses, and healthcare providers can partner with schools to offer wellness resources, such as nutrition workshops, fitness programs, and mental health support services. Community engagement ensures that students have access to a wide range of wellness tools and support systems, both inside and outside of school. By working together, parents, educators, and communities can create an environment that supports the health and well-being of young people. This collaborative effort is crucial in helping students develop the skills and mindset they need to thrive in an ever-changing world. As we look to the future, the integration of wellness education into schools is an essential step toward building a global wellness culture. By teaching young people the importance of self-care, mental health, physical fitness, nutrition, and social wellness, we are not only improving their quality of life but also empowering them to become advocates for well-being in their communities. The future of wellness lies in the hands of the next generation. By equipping young people with the tools and knowledge they need to live healthy, balanced lives, we are preparing them to lead with empathy, resilience, and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all aspects of well-being. As we continue to prioritize wellness education, we can look forward to a world where wellness is a fundamental value, shared and embraced by individuals, communities, and societies around the globe. With this vision in mind, we conclude this exploration of wellness and its far-reaching impact. By working together, embracing wellness as a core value, and prioritizing the well-being of future generations, we can create a world that is healthier, more compassionate, and more sustainable for all. The global wellness revolution is just beginning, let's be part of it. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough?